Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of days, so I hope you've had a good weekend and at least the beginning of the week so far. We're at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Fenix A320 and its new Sim Update 10 Hotfix version, and probably looking at this thinking, like I did, I've not heard of this particular airline until the other day. Who is DutchBird? And it's an airline that pretty much lived for about 3 years, I think, 3-4 years, possibly, around about that length of time anyway. Operating out of Amsterdam, and now defunct, unfortunately, resigned to the realms of history. Hello to Badger, Faris, Yoet, Matthew, Fritz, welcome folks. Doc, how are you doing? Kai, no, just the one. And this is going to be well, the first airliner flight that we've done in the Fenix for quite some time, but also the first airliner trip in Sim Update 10 too. We've not flown Fenix for quite a while. We've been getting a little bit frustrated with a lot of the issues and bugs, features, performance, especially previously. But a lot's been changed. We've got GSX fired up. As you can see here, we're in the process of boarding at the moment. In true DutchBird fashion, we're probably going to be a little bit late, pushing back. Yeah, been a busy morning. Paris, yeah, absolutely. Alberto, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Over in Chile, John, welcome. Great to hear the wife's okay and on the mend. So what we've done for today, we've downloaded the GSX profile for the Premium Deluxe Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. So that's what we're running with GSX today here at the stand Delta 51. And we've got Athens, FlyTampa's Athens, which is a remarkably good bit of scenery for MSFS. We've got the GSX profile for that too. AR Simulations, hello. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, folks, it's great to have you on board with us. Please do consider clicking that subscribe button down below. And don't forget, throughout this live stream today, give us a little like while you're here too. Routing today, thanks to Doc for finding a bit of an old route. We're using DutchBird 165 as the call sign. We can't find the old actual call signs used previously, but if I show you Valanta, our route's going to take us out of Amsterdam here, over the Netherlands, just slightly north of Düsseldorf, which is just here on the map, heading over German airspace past Frankfurt to the north, and then down to Augsburg. From there we're going to break off over Munich. Yes. Over Munich into Austrian airspace, passing between Salzburg and Innsbruck, as we then head over Slovenian airspace, a bit of Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, Albania, and then into Greek airspace before we then commit to a descent into Athens. And we're expecting the ILS 21 right in Athens for a departure here at Amsterdam. We're expecting a departure runway 24. Now there's two options for our clearance today. We're not really sure which one we're going to get. We can go ahead and tune into our controller. It's Amsterdam radar online 12575 on VATSIM. That's not 07575. My bad. Let's rectify that quickly. Oh, no worries, buddy. Sounds good. We're going to be on the ground for another 10 minutes at least, and I'm not yet familiar with what this custom pushback is going to give us as an option either. Neil, up, hello, commentator as well, great to have you guys with us too. Damzo saying, can I ask a question for this early time? Yesterday I flew from Load Frankfurt, my sim crashed 5 minutes before landing. It said graphics device has a problem, how can I fix it? I don't think there is a fix for it, to be honest. I've had it once already in Sim Update 10, that same error.
Hello, this is RADIZ 124 Yankee video inbound Godot level 380.
Who knows? Really not sure. It's graphics related. I think we're kind of stuck waiting for an NVIDIA update in that instance. Right, it's information. Charlie. QNH 997 hectopascals. And it's landing runway 27, main takeoff 24, transition level 45, wind 180 degrees at 8 knots. Variable between 150 and 220 degrees. So we've got a crosswind there ahead for us to look forward to for takeoff. Visibility 10 kilometers, light showers of rain, few clouds at 700 feet, few clouds at 2,500 feet, cumulonimbus, very narrow spread there as well. And a temporary wind warning of 270 degrees, 10 knots.
To Heathrow via Falco 3 Sierra, runway 24, climb level 60, squawk 7345.
Charlie Mike, good morning.
To London Heathrow via the Falco 3 Sierra, departure runway 24, initial climb 60, squawk 7345.
It's going to throw people now, they're going to have heard this call sign for a while.
Correct, report now ready.
We'll go.
Amsterdam radar, good morning. DutchBird 165, Fenix A320 on stand Delta 51 with information Charlie on board. Request R5 clearance to Athens.
Now DutchBird 165, information Charlie is correct, cleared Athens via Randy 2 Sierra, runway 24, climb at level 60, squawk 3172.
Cleared Athens, Renzi 2 departure, runway 24, initial climb flight level 60, squawk 3172, DutchBird 165.
DutchBird 165, feedback is correct, report fully ready.
Okay.
I'm doing good. With our 20 Sierra Hotel, back ready, descend level 280, level at Nopera.
Ready with their 20.
Go ahead and put the departure in here.
904 November Charlie, monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye-bye.
It's not the super juicy departure that we were hoping for, which is going to be quite tricky. Renzi 2, Renz 2 Sierra Yankee, which is an extra, slightly more tricky departure. We've actually got the slightly simpler version, which is nice. Jolly good. Performance then, we've got 140. Fully complete, lovely stuff. V1 of 140, rotate 149, madness. 151 is V2. Transition level 45. Takeoff shift is none. Flaps 1. Trimmable horizontal stabilizer up 0.1. And flex of 60. And you can see their engine out is 1,000 foot MSL, or 988, 988 and 988, as this shows there. How have we got that? It's all in the load sheet. And in this departure performance calculation here, like so. So that's all the figures we've just put into the that page that we've just seen being fiddled around with as well. Jacob loving the music. Gotta have a bit of a party before the chaos begins for takeoff, right? It lulls us all into a false sense of security, and then I'll be grappling with the, well, everything. Try not to die. Ground services, what have we got here? We're already on the APU, so we can get rid of the external power unit.
Avia 749,
And the parking brake is on.
Expect runway 27, descent flight level 150.
We're going to use, let's get rid of toolbar pushback. We're going to use GSX pushback, why not?
KLM 663 kilo, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Hewitt, yes, you are correct.
Super 6 to 1, descent 2,000 feet, QNH
6,000,
997
997 hectopascals, company message. Oh, let's pull this. I like this old analog.
Yeah, 997 hectopascal.
There we go. Right, what else? Yes, company message. So, ATSU, AOC, received. We're going to have to read both of these. Prelim load sheet, and we'll accept the new final load sheet. 0 fuel weight 56.6.
Confirm landing runway
Takeoff weight 66.8 kilo tons. 134 plus 6 passengers on board. Max 0 fuel weight 30.8. Mac takeoff weight 28.2. Fueling tanks 10.4 tons. Fritz, as long as you need. I've got another 5 minutes before we're scheduled to actually push back, so we're still on time as far as this is concerned. Look, there we go, minus 5 minutes to push back. We can just make sure everything's configured as we like it, basically. For the speeds, I'm going to set this one to 250, because I like to always set one of these. With these manual ones, I like to do this around 250.
Climb 3,000 feet initially and a squawk 6263.
And then I tend to set 151 plus 10, so 161.
3 Bravo, initial climb 3,000 and squawk 6263, 66 Bravo.
Avia 66 Bravo, readback is correct, startup approved, QNH 998.
That's our rotate speed, and I'll put a marker on V1 of 140 knots. Like so. And I won't worry about that one too much. So that's our departure on the nav display. And if we have a little look, Ian, that's not good, just had a crash to desktop.
Make a left turn
look at Naviggraph. There's our airport charts. If we put the little blip on, we're here. We'll have to find the actual taxi charts because we are Delta 5-1, which is this little bit here on Alpha 10. We're going to have to push the arrow faces that way, so we're going to have to taxi in, round, most likely then out on Alpha on the inners, around to 2-4, which is down here. Echo 1. What we're hoping for, or even Sierra 7.
Good evening, KLM 787.
Rendy 2 departure, so initially up to AM 005, max 220, left turn 117 degrees. Still climbing up to flight level 60, AM 026. You've looked at EDUPO. That alternate one that we talked about was this one here, to enhance noise abatement really, but the weather's pretty naff, so it's something you probably wouldn't want to try.
3132 KLM 787.
787, readback is correct, report fully ready.
Fully ready, KLM 787.
776, that's good, they're clear, seatbelt signs, no smoking signs, that's ready, performance page is done.
Traffic left turn heading 180.
What's on the charts? Transition altitude on the charts is actually 3,000. Let me just amend that back to 3.
With our 20 Shed Hotel for further descent, Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Thank you.
And we've done
Amsterdam radar for KLM 803 Heavy.
783 Amsterdam.
Amsterdam radar, goedemiddag. KLM 803 Heavy, request IVR
technically it's not because the model's still there.
Information Charlie on board the Boeing 777-300ER at Schiphol Echo 22.
It's a shame really, the Flabberwire one does a really nice locking noise at that point. Just has system. That's
24, climb flight level 60, squawk 0165.
He's going to be with us for a little while, and then we're going to expect Unicom as we leave the Netherlands, so 1228 is probably relevant for that.
Climb 803, readback is correct, report fully ready.
Okay.
KLM 803 Heavy.
Seabird 815 Charlie, O navigation direct upnet.
On navigation direct upnet, Seabird 815 Charlie, thank you.
Boo.
I'm sorry,
2 minutes to push.
Seabird 438, squawk 0175.
Ready for pushback.
I love the fact that it gives you slight accents as well. Pretty sweet.
177, pushback and start approved. The QNH is 997, Echo Pascal.
QNH 997, please
there
push again 1027.
Is our first screenshot of the day.
Departure checks.
Transavia 749, proceed direct TIVUN, descent flight level 70.
So from the point of view, we want the nose to go towards the left of our screens. From the point of view of the pilot, that's going to be nose right.
Hello, that's a 5,
We need to wait for the Swissport tug to get into place. Let's kill the music for a moment.
48, direct Sugo, expect runway 27, descend level 70.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. I didn't know that.
Direct Sugo, expect runway 27 and down to 7000.
Beacon on.
Schiphol, KLM 16, chance to get back now?
Ah, I was just about to get pushed back.
Station calling, call sign only.
KLM 16.
Fritz, yeah, the ATC is very loud here. I don't know why. It's difficult because it depends on each controller's own audio settings. Let me
control Osprey
turn it down a bit more.
Golf.
Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. See, Thompson, it depends how you use it, really.
Departure.
It should be pretty good in the sense that if you get the good profile for it, you keep it up to date, it actually works quite nicely, as we're seeing today.
Squawk 0 on 77,
We're going to want those.
Again, was it 6,000?
Right.
Flight level 60.
It's just that it does that, it's a bit annoying.
Osprey 131 Golf. 077 for the, I forgot the...
Flight 60, we're in observer mode apparently, so we are waiting for the clearance.
Ronnie, hello, yeah, computer, hey, touch wood. Keywords there.
Osprey 131 Golf, your readback is correct, sir, report fully ready. Can you give me the squawk code again, please? 0177. 0177 Osprey 131 Golf. Keeper 61, right turn heading 180.
Right 180, speed to 61.
DutchBird 165 is fully ready, request push start.
DutchBird 165, pushback start approved, facing east, the QNH is 90907 hectopascal.
Push start east, QNH 90907 hectopascals, DutchBird 165. Nose left then.
Keep it 61, continue that right turn heading 240, cleared for the ILS approach, number 27.
Here we go. So yeah, beacon is on and that's all set as required. We're happy with everything we've put into the computer so far as well. It's a really gloomy day here. Absolutely in, 100%. Going back to the GSX question that Tom's put in the live chat there, would you say GSX is worth the money? Personally, I quite like it. Nose is being raised there by the tug. Look at that.
Release parking brakes, please.
So let's get my Tobii Eye Tracker ready.
That's 196 Amsterdam.
Part brake off.
We should be on the map now, we were in observer mode.
Ignition mode starts, and we're going to go for engine 2.
Kilo 496, cleared to Athens, Randy 2 Sierra, runway 24, climb for level 60, squawk 0141.
Watching the N2 rise there, 21 point something. Now the M1's starting to rise as well. I hope I've clicked the right button. It looks like I have clicked the right directional control there.
The 496 is back correct, report fully ready.
Amsterdam, Constantia, 66 Bravo, dus taxi 24.
Bravo 66 Bravo, taxi hold point, Victor 6, runway 24.
Victor 624, Constantia, 66 Bravo.
See, Tom's not really. All you have to kind of do is focus on getting the profiles for it, but a lot of folk, including myself, have actually created some profiles for a lot of the airports that you can purchase. So, in that sense, don't need to worry. Operator set.
Ready for immediate push.
Confirmation for
77 pushback and start approved, facing east, the QNH 90907 hectopascal.
I'm going to go to external view for the moment, because I want to capture the GSX chat.
552, Red 51 Alpha arrival, runway 27, descent flight level 1 and 907.
The red come down.
And then what we can do in GSX is confirm good engine start. And we can see from the outside then, tug put the aeroplane back down. Yes, no I haven't actually.
Left third 250, descent 2000 feet.
Wow, okay, it dropped that pretty harsh, didn't it?
Super 48 after Schiphol, direct Sierra Papa Lima.
Okay, so he's been pushed there. We're going to go to flaps 1 plus F. We can continue to configure the aircraft. Initialize
KLM
weights.
1027, ready for taxi.
1027, Sierra 724.
Sierra 724, KLM 1027.
Oh, my bad.
Left 4906, pushback and start approved. The QNH 9997, active Moscow.
30.8. That's good. Total remove.
Right is clear.
815 Charlie, request away from cockpit for 37.
Yeah, that's approved, sir.
Thank you.
Osprey 131 Golf, ready for stop. Osprey 131 Golf, pushback and start approved. QNH
There we
9997,
go.
active
Thank you,
Moscow.
airplane, for telling me off.
QNH
Looking
997,
left and right. There goes the tug.
131 Golf.
Chappy Chap's disappeared as well. We can pop that on. We can get rid of the APU.
Ryanair 552, direct Sugol, descent flight level 70.
Direct Sugol 70, Ryanair 552.
Yeah, 36 left is just miles away, isn't it? We have to wait for this KLM.
Clear 27 Yankee, goedendag. Information is now Delta, clear Alpor. Via Andik 2 Sierra, runway 24.
Know where it's going.
Level 6 Sierra, squawk 0143.
Andik 2 Sierra, runway 24. And
Going to look a quick check the charts here. So we're on Alpha 10 at the moment. Gonna have to, it's pointless me calling up for taxi because we've got to wait for him.
Adam 27 Yankee, feedback is correct, report fully ready.
But we're pretty prepped.
Hello, Z96 Fox Alpha identified. Continue climb level 350.
Birdman, exactly. Carnage, isn't it?
Hanzavia 749 on right turn 310, cleared
Might as well go to Auto Brake Max as well, and it's almost all of our stuff complete then as well for our pre-takeoff checks and things.
KLM 1027, fully ready.
KLM 1027, runway 24, clear for takeoff to wind 200 degrees, 8 knots.
Clear takeoff 24, KLM.
So we had a 2-minute delay there, apparently.
S&M radar Delta 15 Abbey, switch to a flight level 340 inbound rough low.
Badge is on his way, nice work.
Hello, Delta 015, squawk 2134.
We're stuck at the moment with the KLM, so we're just going to have to wait for them.
Squawk 2134 for Delta 15 heading.
Keep 815 Charlie back in cockpit.
Welcome back.
Speedbird 61 touchdown available to vacate next exit.
Yeah, that's approved.
DutchBird 165 is ready for taxi in turn.
DutchBird 165, yeah, the KLM in front should be moving shortly. You can follow him to runway 24.
Yeah, Roger, no worries. Follow him to 24, DutchBird 165.
Amsterdam, Tanzavia 66 Bravo, ready on reaching runway 24.
Tanzavia 66 Bravo, 24, clear takeoff. The wind is 180 with 4.
Clear takeoff 24, 66 Bravo.
And if he's going to Heathrow,
Speedbird 438, expect factors for 27, descend level 5, Sierra.
Expect vector 27 down to 5000 for Speedbird 438.
Ryanair 124 Yankee, monitor Unicom 122.8.
Unicom frequency 128, flight. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Speedbird 61 vacate is ready for taxi.
2 at the same time. I heard Speedbird 621, taxi to gate Delta 22 via Alpha.
so let's see if I turn the park brake off here, if the aeroplane begins to crawl.
Amsterdam Control 787, ready to taxi.
KLM 787, taxi to the point, Sierra 7, runway 24.
To Sierra 7, runway 24, KLM 787.
Which is him.
Tanzavia 749, runway 27, clear to land within 200 degrees, 8 knots.
Got the taxi lights on. We do. Happy days. A little bit of power to get moving.
Identified, climb level 130, direct upnet.
Upnet level 1230, KLM 130, KLM 1027.
Correct. KLM 27 Yankee, push at start is approved. The QNH is 997 hectopascal. We start approved.
Just doing some control checks, looking at the PFD there for ailerons and things like that.
Continue.
Continue Delta 15 heavy.
Schiphol KLM 6 heavy with spec.
KLM 496, taxi right Alpha towards point Sierra 7, runway 24.
Right on Alpha via Sierra 7.
Ooh, there's a live weather change.
Transavia 66 Bravo identified, climb flight level 240.
240, Transavia 66 Bravo.
Okay. Very pea-soup automator. Jeff, hard to tell at the moment. I think it's a little bit better, performance-wise, than it used to be. But I certainly know by the time we depart Amsterdam and then we make our way into Athens, a couple of hours from now,
runway 24, climb flight level 60 at squawk 0146.
this eye tracker is great for taxiing. First time using the Tobii Eye Tracker actually with an airliner. He's probably racing ahead. Can't keep up with the guy. Marish, yeah, it's live, default live weather.
Xavier 66 Bravo, proceed direct Godos.
Direct Godos 66 Bravo.
Seabird 438, descent 2000 feet to QNH 997, hector Pascal.
On 2000 feet, QNH 997, 438, thanks.
Grisham, hello, welcome. This is Sobo's Premium Deluxe Scenery, yes.
Charlie 15.
Charlie 15.
Do love flying
131 Golf ready to taxi.
in weather like this.
Oscar 131 Golf, taxi to the point, Sierra 7, runway 24.
Taxi via Sierra 7, runway 24.
A little bit on the old breaky
KLM
roonies.
787, runway 24, you're clear for takeoff. The wind is 200 degrees, 8 knots.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24, KLM 787. 2 Savienki, you can crash taxi.
KLM 2 Savienki by Alpha 4 to the point, Sierra 7, runway 24.
Alpha 4, Sierra 74, 2 Savienki.
DutchBird 165 behind departing KLM, line up 24, wait behind.
On the departing KLM, line up and wait 24 behind, DutchBird 165.
Seabird 438, left turn heading 090.
Left heading 090, Seabird 438.
KLM 496, give way to Transavia, joining Alpha on your left.
We'll give way to the traffic 73 on our left on Alpha.
Transavia, caution KLM 1027, left turn heading 180.
Left heading 180, KLM 1027.
Great controlling.
Transavia 66 Bravo, left turn 290.
Left 290, 66 Bravo.
Seabird 815 Charlie, Montreal Unicom 122.8.
Unicom for Speedo 815 Charlie, thank you for your ATC services, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so wind's coming from the left to right.
KLM 1027, climb flight level 240.
Level 240, KLM 1027.
KLM 787 identified, climb flight level 130.
27 degrees, 8 knots,
Time to flight
so
level 130,
pretty much 8 knots straight across the air.
Bird 165, runway 24, clear for takeoff. The wind is 200 degrees, 8 knots.
Clear for takeoff 2 for DutchBird 165. Cool.
The Mediterranean 6505, yes, Delta board,
Just going to reset the head tracker.
Delta 6505, going to call you back shortly. First liner 552 after Sugol, direct Sierra Papa Lima.
After Sugol, direct Sierra Papa Lima. Reiner 552.
KLM 1027, no navigation, direct upnet.
Get rid of that
Get
for
back
now.
up net, KLM 1027.
Speed's going to help us.
66 Bravo, no navigation, direct Godos.
80 knots.
Direct Godos, Philadelphia 66 Bravo.
KLM 787, proceed direct Echo Lima.
Direct Echo Lima 787.
B1. Rotate.
Itaro 121, pushback at the start, approved. QNH
Wowzers. They're using quite a lot of left aileron there. There we go. Positive rate, gear up. And we'll fly towards the flight directors.
Wait for Pushback Yankee.
Plus we'll pop the autopilot on as well.
To Amman via ready to Sierra, runway 24, climb flight level 60, squawk 0166.
They haven't changed the lighting, have they? That's still almost impossible to see. Leave a climb.
Feedback is correct, report fully ready.
I mean, look how dark that is. I've got all the screens and everything lit up.
Climb flight level 250.
Put all the lighting on max, floodlights, the lot. Still pretty.
DutchBird 165, identified, climb flight level 130.
Just go with the direct again, please, DutchBird 165.
Yeah, you were identified, climb flight level 130.
Ah. Climb flight level 130, DutchBird 165.
27 Yankee 24, you clear takeoff.
Sounded like he said something else entirely.
0038 knots.
For clear of takeoff, Pushback Yankee.
Get a 4
Clean up the aeroplane.
Rolling company, ladder 24, wait behind.
It's not the same with the PMTG though.
Then the rolling company will line up for 6.
Look at that. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Thank you for flying, bye bye.
I'm going to go to QATL and I'm going to exit GSX now. I'm going to go externally to have a little look-see.
And 552, expect vectors for the 270, that's level 50.
Yeah, 50, expect vectors right
At the plane. We've got some custom views for today as well. Look at that rainbow.
Columbia 68 Bravo, climb flight level 380.
Woohoo! Look at that. Come on, don't miss the opportunity, Luke. Bingo.
Bird 165, proceed direct Napro, climb flight level 250.
Direct Napro, flight level 1250, DutchBird 165.
Climb 27 Yankee, identified, climb flight level 130.
Climb level 130, 27 Yankee.
Get 49624 via Shadow 6 apparently. You clear for takeoff to wind 200 degrees 8 knots.
250, that can go on. We might as well use that now as well. Standard pressure. Here we go, hello. Yep, can see the house from this departure. That's awesome. Disarm the spoilers, but they seem to have rearmed themselves. Okay.
Speedbird 438, right turn, heading 240, cleared island approach number 27.
There we are.
Roger, right turn, heading 40, cleared island, approach number 27, 438.
God, this weather. Absolutely mega.
Request out of cockpit.
For how long?
Commentator landed into Jersey earlier with a 20 knot headwind, 30 knot gusts. Awesome.
Okay, you will be out of my airspace by then, so you can retrieve Unicom 122, that's fine.
Okay, Unicom 128, up from the 5 package unit, thank you.
Amsterdam radar, EV 19 Kilo Charlie, level 292.
Hello, EV 19 Kilo Charlie, red 5 Alpha for runway 27.
Oh, Jacob, yeah, it would be fantastic if we had a weathered radar now, wouldn't it? I mean, look at that, it's horrendous. Absolutely proper PC.
24, expect a little over 1.5 minute delay due to wake separation.
Route to 10,000 now.
Osprey 131 Golf, runway 24, line up and wait. Expect about 1 minute delay due to wake separation.
Probably put a bit of wing anti-ice on through this.
Get 27 Yankee, proceed direct to TESGA.
Ronnie, it is, but we're in the Netherlands. I think it's probably typical Netherlands weather as well, isn't it?
496 identified, climb flight level 130.
130.
Where we go, I think it's been well over a month and a half since our last Fenix A320 trip.
There, 5530, send 3000 feet, QNH 998.
Channel 2998.
906 Foxtrot Alpha, contact Bremen 133, that's on 75.
There's the rainbow again, just faint through the cloud there.
Correct.
Connect 45 kilo Bravo, identified, connect Bravo.
Correct, Bravo. Thank you,
Submission 3, pushback and started.
Goodness me, this is so pea-soupy.
Osprey 131 Golf 24, clear for takeoff. The wind
Absolutely mega.
0 degrees, 8 knots.
Osprey 131, clear to take off. Thank you.
Speed with 438, runway 27,
Jacob, nice. Seems a bit pointless though. Sound has been updated. The sounds in the Fenix are actually very, very nice indeed.
KLM 787 for higher, contact Bremen 133.725.
Wonder what the cloud tops are going to be for this little weather system that we're heading through.
KLM 787 for higher, contact Bremen 133.725.
33725, thank you sir, good day.
KLM 27 Yankee, climb flight level 250.
Napro is the edge of the Netherlands
KLM
airspace.
496 direct Napro, climb flight level 250.
There we are, and then we're going to be into Unicom land from there for a little while. I'll put the screenshots we've taken so far, put them onto Balanta.
Level 70.
Direct to go level 70, easy 100 kilo Charlie.
Yeah, the breakout's going to be good.
Hello, Tenex 2 Alpha identified. Got a 1-to-1 taxi via Alpha 8 to hold the point Sierra.
Well, we found them. Hello. So far, touch wood, so good. We have just departed though, so we've got a little while to go. Oh, here it looks like the cloud tops here.
Yeah, 6505, and clear off the blue thing from left to right behind push and started.
That in itself looks pretty mega.
behind me.
552 left 090.
Left 090, Ryanair 552.
Osprey 130 Golf identified, climb flight level 130.
See what it looks like on the outside, shall we?
Level 130, Osprey 130.
Amsterdam radar EasyJet 398 with you, flight level 30 for flight level 320.
Service 398 with direct Echo Lima.
Echo Lima for EasyJet 398.
Hopefully we get further climb, because I think we're at 250, but look at that. Very cool. That rainbow's still there. So if we go to this view, and I'll keep snapping the views around.
No, Osprey 24,
no, I don't have that view.
2, cleared Athens, ready to Sierra, number 24,
4,
level 60,
3.
squawk 0156.
Ah, there it is.
Cleared by the Rendy to Sierra departure, runway 24, 5 to 6,000 feet, squawk code 0156 for Osprey 272.
Osprey 272, let's make a correct report, fully ready.
Try and move this view around a little bit to get that little weird sheen out from the window. There we go.
Osprey 131 Golf, climb level 250, direct Napro.
Direct Navro, climb 2303, Osprey 131 Golf.
That's 250.
That's 250, Osprey 131 Golf.
Question Alpha, hello. Been
7 Yankee for higher,
well,
contact
thanks.
Bremen,
Super busy all the time. Yeah, very busy. Nice to be able to be flying again in the sim. There's the rainbow. That's what we're looking for.
Down to 2000, Ryanair 552.
Lovely stuff.
A firm, Itera 121, via Sierra 7, runway 24, you're clear to take off to wind 180 degrees 6 knots.
Black Helicopter wants to see the cabin a little bit. Never seen it in the Fenix.
121, runway 24, clear to take off
There you
to
go.
180 degrees 6 knots.
The seatbelt signs, you should probably turn them off in a bit, but the seatbelt signs up here would also go off. And again, it depends cabin-wise what happens with the seats and things like that too. Quite cool. And then down here, you might see the safety demonstration for your continued existence. A320 and probably some other planes, so there's a little bit of humour from Fenix there. I reckon we can pop them off now.
703, hello, reach 5.5.
Calam 703, request for clearance to Hamburg, information transport, left over 310.
From 703, cleared Hamburg, Antic 2 Sierra, runway 24, clap double 6, squawk 3134.
God's saying weather's just as bad in Salzburg. What the Metar is there then? Let's have a little dig around and find out what he's departing in Salzburg. L. L.
Runway 03, taxi via Alpha 1 to Alpha to the point Sierra 7, runway 24.
Via Alpha 1 to Alpha to 1 point.
I remember the airport code for Salzburg now off the top of my head. Not very good.
Transavia 66 Bravo, monitor Unicom 122.8.
With a slight right turn there as we're climbing away through flight level 200 now.
DutchBird 165, climb flight level 370.
Flight level 370, DutchBird 165. Hello, yeah, thank you. LOWS. My head's all over the place.
Speedbird 48, taxi gate Delta 16.
300 degrees at 13 knots, a few clouds at 3,000, scattered 5,000, 11 degrees for the temperature, plus 6 for the dew point, 1003 for his QNH for John. And by contrast to what we've just departed in, the weather in Athens at the moment is 220 degrees at 10 knots, scattered at 3,000. Temperature is 24 degrees, dew point's 19, QNH 1007, so it's not much better. Not much better at all. There's the rainbow again.
Amsterdam radar low easy 64 Delta Lima, flight level 370, just overhead Lamso.
Surprised he hasn't handed us off yet.
Delta Lima identified, see you.
We're in Unicom territory now. He's very busy. Philip, good evening. Hope you're well. Is it? Standard. Oh, it is, yes. Good spot, Philip. Thank you very much. I hope you're well.
Delta 015, Unicom 122.8. Bye-bye. Ryanair 552, high turn 250, cleared ILS 27.
250 to the
there you
right,
go.
cleared
Sorted.
Ryanair 450.
Easy 19 Kilo Charlie after Sugol, direct Sierra Papa Lima.
After Sugol, direct Sierra Papa Lima, easy 19 Kilo Charlie.
We go to the
03, hold position.
good old GoPro cam.
What position, kid?
Look at that.
Transavia 6505, taxi Sierra 724.
How realistic does MSFS look when it's like this?
Runway 24, give way to Transavia from the right.
Just stunning. Look at the ground below through that little pocket of cloud by the nose. Ellie Hugh, welcome.
Hello, KLM 15 Amsterdam, goedendag.
It's nice to be using live weather again. Now what I will say is I've been flying a lot in the PMDG 737. It flares differently, flies very differently. So I'd imagine my touchdown rating here in the Fenix later on in Athens will be quite heavy in comparison. It's a very different approach.
A couple at the same time. First, Transavia 650524, down per weight.
Performance-wise, though, I think there has been a bit of an improvement from Fenix. Still not as silky smooth as I'd hope, but an improvement nonetheless. So for that, has to be commended.
703, pushback and start approved to QNH 90907.
Here, good afternoon, good evening to you in India, welcome, and John in California. Very good morning to you.
Facing east, please.
Facing east, Calum 703.
Sarah 121, direct NAPRO, climb level 250.
Philip, yeah, very good, thank you. super busy at work as always. Got a couple of bits of content that I want to be able to bring you guys in the near future too, but need a little bit of time to try and sort that as well. And then you guys are going to see a review from me for the black square, the black box.
Unicom 122, that's Malay.
Unicom 1228, DutchBird 165, thanks. Yeah, the black square King Air stuff, the analog steam gauge overhaul. That's I think going to be available in the next couple of days, if not already. I think it's due in the next few days for release. Hoping to get some sort of preview / review done on it. Whether it be done before or after release, I'm not certain, but I'll try my best. See what I can do, see what I can rustle up for you guys. Hugh saying that native heli support is getting a bit closer, but getting ready for a possible switch fully from X-Plane. Very exciting. How are you guys all finding Sim Update 10? Are you finding it massively better, or are you having issues with it? Let's have a little sit rep check on VRANA, shall we? See how the little row of folk behind are doing. Let's put these screenshots of VRANA first as well at the same time. So there we are. Active flight just passing over Dusseldorf. We've got Parrot 999. I'm not sure if they're flying the same route, but they're offline. There's Badger right up ahead. Cargo looks 919 and 747-8 flying offline, same route. And then if we zoom down the line here, we can see Neil there, Osprey 131 Golf. Who else have we got? So there's Neil there actually on. So there's the same person, but difference between VRANA tracking, which is where the mouse is currently, and the VATSIM tracking. A little bit lagging behind there. Who else do we have? Do we have anyone else flying along today? I'm not certain. Juliet Charlie Mike, Osprey 5121 there in the 737. Oh, there's Turbo Stick, Osprey 2472 as well. He's had a crash to desktop, that's Ian actually, so he's rebooted and fired his sim back up. God, it's really busy at Amsterdam now. But I can't see anyone else flying to Athens. Which is fine. Always like to have an idea of who's going to be flying along so that we don't lose track of people. As we fly the route. John is in Salzburg somewhere. He's down here. There he is. Osprey 27 Juliet Mike. Quite some way away from him yet though. We're there, Solingen, in Germany. Paris is setting up in EPKT. Neil says this is his first flight since Sim Update 10. Matthew saying that Update 10's worked great on his CRJ 550 flights so far over the last weekend. Yeah, good to hear. Jacob saying his Sim Update 10 so far is his experience of it has been much better. Just waiting for the new NVIDIA drivers to come out. Yeah, you and me both. Black Helicopters took a break from the sim for quite a while by the sounds of it. Came back at Sim Update 9. Hasn't had a single CTD with 9 or 10. That's really lucky actually. And Birdman there saying not had a crash to desktop with Sim Update 10 yet, but the Fenix dark cockpit annoys me. Yeah, similar. That's a similar frustration that we share. I get quite annoyed with their super dark cockpit. It's not like that in other aircraft, is it? And again, it's something I'd like to see them address and fix. Lucas, hello. Also on DB Art's DutchBird. It's an airline that lived for about 4 years before it went bust in the Netherlands. Based out of Amsterdam. There it is. Leisure airline. like helicopters, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. The beauty is we have these options, don't we? We have the options available to us to choose what we like to purchase ourselves, and each one of us has a slightly different aim for their flight simulation. So the fact we have all of these available to us is really nice. And don't get me wrong, the Fenix is very good, but the fly-by-wire A320X as well is very, very good too. Badger, good work. Fritz is asking what is the difference between the fly-by-wire and the Fenix. One's obviously the Neo, so it's powered by much more efficient but also more powerful engines. Kind of it really. They try and aim to both replicate the real world counterpart as best as possible, but I think Fenix does a little bit of a better job of that. That said, fly-by-wire has a slightly better performance, in my opinion, than the Fenix. Absolutely, but I don't think we're going to see that until 2023 into 2024, to be totally honest with you. Jacob, good grief, should be that much of a drop just by connecting to VATSIM. I find Fenix is a bit heavy anyway, to be honest. Who have we got just joined us here? Akis, welcome on board. Great to have you on board with us. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Birdman, yeah, is that, I'm guessing, is that post Sim Update 10, post Hotfix and stuff as well? Is that something they haven't fixed yet? Automated says Fenix was very tricky to land last night. Stuttgart, 20 knot headwind and gusts to bring a whole new level to MSFS. Yeah, and it's going to force us to have to work at flying a little bit more accurately, a little bit better. Bennett's saying, Big Cat saying Fenix is a complete Airbus. Fly-by-wire is good for what it is, but it's not close to Fenix systems or textures wise. Complete Airbus? I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's there yet. I don't think I can call Fenix a complete Airbus A320. Don't forget, it is missing a weather radar. One thing I'm still not really a fan of is the fact that the whole simulation runs outside of the sim in another program. We're just asking for problems. If that goes wrong, then the aeroplane in the sim will go wrong. That's not ideal. Akis, there shouldn't be. Doc, where is it? I can't see. Question now. Which do you prefer? Zerna or raw Jordanian boarding music? I haven't heard either, so I don't know. That's the weather in Athens at the moment. Pretty mad. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully we get some gusts when we head into Athens as well, actually. I mean, the big difference for me between fly-by-wire and Fenix is the lighting too. I find this is an incredibly dark cockpit environment and it's just not very good at quite a lot of the time. that gets quite frustrating. Big Cat, I'm not disputing that at all, but I'm just saying there are things. I would call it a complete Airbus system, as you quoted there. Fenix is a complete Airbus, you said, but it's not realistically, because it doesn't have a weather radar that's working properly. I think they're both very good. What is my company message? It's going to be a delay issue, isn't it? Requesting a delay code, probably. So we're going to have to go to delay cards. It was ATC related. AMZ. It's a 2-minute delay. We'll send that away. And they've also said as well, Big Cat, that they know that there are some issues with it still. Where is it? Let's dig out their Discord server. Fenix have said a few things themselves that they want to address in the future. I think it was around engine performance, fuel usage and all that sort of thing as well, and I think Flywire have done a better job of that. But Neil's saying real men fly Boeing. Boeing's where it's at. I do very, very, very much like the MDG. It's exceptionally good for what you get, I think. Yesterday at 21:32, Dave from Fenix has said, this is the first and last time I'll be pinging everyone in the channel. I wanted to make clear where to find the absolute latest, especially regarding high profile and priority issues. To save searching thousands of messages in multiple channels, when we have something worth sharing, we'll pop it into this Dave's updates thread. First up, the status on the landing issues. I assume this is what we're on about with the Tokyo drift type stuff that I've had as well, as a lot of you guys too. Even posted update 10. It says, this afternoon we built a special version of the aircraft with, quite frankly, an excessive amount of logging and data collection built into it. Sent this to a few customers reporting issues in the landing phase. We've already got a lot of the data back and have started to unpack and graph it out to see what we can find. We already have a couple of ideas as to what might be going on, and I'll update further, but for now, here's a quick look at some of the high profile issues we are actively working towards fixing. Sudden nose down inputs during flare. Well, that sounds a bit concerning. Data collected, investigating. Bouncing on landing even after smooth touchdown, so potential fixes being worked on. Tokyo drift yaw control, there we go. After nose gear touchdown, potential fix has been theorised but not yet tested, related to a workaround we implemented for lack of rudder authority in MSFS under certain conditions. And then they go on to sort of say that as and when we have updates on any of the above or new high profile items, we will try to keep people updated in the loop in here. Transparency is important to Fenix. That's fair enough. So they have actually addressed it now, which is good. It's been something that's been plaguing a lot of us since its release, and it's something that I think was important they do address. It seems like they have finally done that and are actively trying to fix those things, which is really good to see. Barrister taxiing to the active in Katowice in the CRJ7 Nordica. Lovely livery, fantastic livery that. Going to be parallel to us on our flight today. I think John was saying he's still loading his, there he goes, the cargo containers are still being loaded and the weather's improving in Salzburg. That's good. Jeff, no, see, I'm quite sceptical of when they've done something themselves to try and circumvent something in the sim, and that is causing the Tokyo drift. That's how I've read that. Related to a workaround we implemented for lack of rudder authority in MSFS under certain conditions. Certain conditions. So, who knows? The problem is they've put that in as a very generalised comment about MSFS, kind of putting a bit of blame on them, but they don't actually then explain what the issue is for us to understand it, Jeff. So I'm sceptical as to what that is because they don't offer any meat to the bones. So I kind of see comments like that from various developers across the sphere of flight simulation. I just ignore it effectively because unless they're going to offer me a reason as to why, so I can understand what they're trying to say, then I won't listen to what they're saying. Effectively, I'll make my own opinion up otherwise. Works better that way. Copy update, see if they've accepted the delay. They better have, otherwise I'm going to send an angry message back. Receive messages, DBR ops, ADC good, glad. Oh, look at that wing shine. Big cat, yeah, so I mean this is a problem I've had before in the past. So after release we had, where did we fly, guys? So I think you guys might remember, was it Heraklion? That was about 4 months ago now, I think. And we landed there really nice and smooth, nice and straight, and all of a sudden we just uncontrollably veered away off the runway, completely off the runway actually, technically crashed because of it. I kind of agree, but I kind of also want to add the caveat there that it's down to the developers as well as MSFS. The PMDG on landing, the 737 for example, handles very differently to that of the Fenix. I get it, it's 737 over A320, but I've not personally experienced this weird Tokyo drift stuff you get on the Fenix sometimes with the PMDG. Commentator says, just walked back to my PC to find my autopilot disconnect warning going off. I was at 42,000 feet, so I guess weather updates are still a problem. That's not good. Yeah, Big Cat, absolutely. So, again, it's another reason as to why I wouldn't necessarily call the Fenix a complete Airbus. There are issues in this that aren't in the fly-by-wire, for example. Like that landing problem that we've just been discussing, actually, isn't an issue in the fly-by-wire. It's not an issue in the PMDG 737 either, or the Aerosoft CRJ. But, as Jeff is saying, it flies RMP approaches wonderfully. It's got a much more complete MCDU. I like the little delay allocation stuff in there as well. Like he says, Fenix has its problems for sure, but it's still his A320 of choice. For me though, if I was to look at the wider sense, the 737 is still miles ahead from the folks at PMDG. Are still a lot further ahead on performance and enjoyment and immersion and everything else. That total sim package, I suppose you could call it. That slightly busier Boeing cockpit too. Birdman, yes, it is in a way, but the PMDG 737 doesn't have it this bad, and the Flyby doesn't have it that bad either. I don't think the CRJ does, and I don't think the Just Flight 146 does either, off the top of my head. It's something that is more pronounced in the Fenix. I'm not saying the other ones don't have that problem, I'm just saying it's more pronounced in the Fenix. It's something that they should try and focus changing. Jeff, that's kind of where I was going down the lineup as well. That was my theory, and I don't know if they can solve that, because they run the whole simulation via the program outside the sim, don't they? And I'm still not a fan of that. I get why they do it, I'm just not a fan of it. Ehawk, awesome. So saying they just got the PMDG 737-800 this morning, taking it on its first flight now. Fantastic. Where are you going? Departure and arrival routes. It says moving up from the 736, which I got just to see if I like flight simming, and turns out I do. You're going to be hooked. Absolutely hooked. What a great aircraft to start on as well. Stuart, give me level D763 and FS9 any day. I'd love to see a 767-300 in MSFS. Oh yeah, who mentioned there was a big thing about blurry textures in the PMDG 737, wasn't there? Look at that. How's that as a counter? Because somebody said a little while ago the PMDG doesn't have it, but that is properly blurry as well. Just the same as the PMDG actually. That the rivets there, same level of quality. That's a big old jaggedy edge. But that's really washed out and blurry. So I can't just say it's all PMDG bad textures. It looks like it's the similar sort of thing on the Fenix too. Manchester to Madeira, long first flight with a tricky landing at the end as well. Good luck with that. Of all the flights to do for your first flight in the 737-800, you choose Madeira for your first arrival. That's epic. Those clouds look exceptional, don't they, folks? Look at that. Really nice cloud layers. Lennox wants to see a bit of a flight map. There you go. So we've departed Netherlands, so Dusseldorf, Frankfurt. We're near to Munich now. We're kind of on the way towards Munich. And then we'll be into Austrian airspace. So the entire route is going to take us on a diagonal line across Europe, down the Adriatic coastline as well, just inset from that down to Athens. Oh, Alberto, yeah, I'm simply countering some of the arguments you get for the PMDG on every stream. That's the point, Jeff. Nothing will be perfect. But I find it odd, there's a lot of criticism towards the texturing on the PMDG, and a lot of people tend to use Fenix as a counter for that, but what I'm just simply showing here is that it's no different. It suffers the same limitations. Andy's first class A flight with Fly UK has just been completed. Nice work. Stansted to Moscow in the 747-8F. Wowzers. Bit of a longer trek as well. Birdman, I'll try. Yes, please do. Let me know about VNAV behaviour. Don't let me forget. And you guys can monitor it as we fly it as well. Actually, as we sort of fly into Athens later on in the flight, you guys will be able to monitor that with me at the same time. Thank goodness for that, Lennox. Crikey, is it this week, Automator? Is it Thursday that World Update? The World Update comes out for Canada. You know what? I've been so frantically busy with work and the house move and a few other bits and updating the sim and going away for a few days that I've kind of lost track of where the update phases are for the sim. Yeah, definitely. If it comes out by say Thursday, for example, Thursday evening, then if it's going to be pre-stream, which I don't think it will be, it's usually around 5 PM, isn't it? So in that case, it will be the next stream, which will be Sunday. Do we know which airports are going to be included in the Canadian update yet? Has that been set? Love that shine you get from the sun reflecting off the wings there, that's pretty cool. Simwings Munich's going to be down there somewhere as we head away past it, and then we'll be going over the Alps into Austrian airspace. Doctor, hello. Saying there it's hard in response to Andy's question of is the Fenix better than the fly-by-wire. Doctor's there saying it's hard one to compare for me between the fly-by-wire and the Fenix. I'd be sort of slightly inclined to agree. They're both very good aeroplanes. One's free and one costs 50 or so quid. Performance-wise, fly-by-wire is slightly smoother. In-depth system-wise, Fenix is much more detailed. But it's tough to call. This landing bug that seems to be very random and sudden, that's trickling around the community since it's released, and still seems to be an issue at the moment, perhaps maybe a worsening issue as well with the Fenix. That's something that urgently needs to be fixed. That for me is, it just ruins your flight completely. And the performance is quite heavy. It's certainly the heaviest on performance in any aeroplane I've got installed. And it's night and day between the performance of the PMTG 737 and this. Not so much with the fly-by-wire versus Fenix on performance. Fly-by-wire is a little bit better on performance. I think if you're looking at purchasing an aircraft at the moment, Andy, and you like a little bit of Boeing action as well, I would highly recommend getting the 737-800 from PMDG first, and then you can enjoy fly-by-wire A321X for the A320 and the PMDG 737-800 for an incredibly wonderful Boeing 737 option. So you have a bit of both, best of both worlds there, in a way, in a sense. And then a little bit further down the line, you could then consider getting the Fenix A320 as well. Fritz all saying the same actually there. definitely is the one that I would recommend out of all the options available at the moment. 737-800. Duffman has had no issues with the Tokyo Drift landing issue. It's a weird one. I've only ever had it once. Only ever had it once. Hopefully, touch wood, never again. Yes, saying, Luke, do you know when we get an iPad or an EFB in the PMTG 737? No. I know they're working on it, it's in progress, they're looking at developing it to be as good as it can possibly be. There's Munich, just by the suction cup of the EFB. Look at that in the distance, that's great. Yeah, I think they're aiming to get it released in the next month, 2 months, who knows. The best place to monitor news about that would be the PMDG forums, the official forums on their website. Speaking of news, have you guys heard? Those of you in the UK, Doncaster Sheffield Airport is shutting up shop permanently at the end of October. Quite sudden. It's going to become warehousing units and a few other things, which is a bit sad. Certainly the regional airport model seems to have failed quite a bit anyway. John to Salzburg, hot point for 3-3, just waiting to go. Nice bit of timing from you there, John, good work. E-Hawk, you're going to be waiting a long time for the Flavor A380. Long time for it. People keep getting hyped over the A380, and I say pretty much on every stream we're going to be waiting at least a year for it. Probably even now from today looking forwards. There's Munich, München. A220 would be great automator as well. Do you remember was it Whiskey Jet Sim or Whiskey Sim? They came out, they appeared at one point about a year and a half ago saying we're making an A220 and progress to the model looked really nice, and then they got to the system coding part of development, which is probably about 75% of the add-on, and then they realised they couldn't code in the language required, and then the whole thing's just shut down and failed. So that was one that we were looking forward to. It's a bit of a shame, but yeah, the A220 would be great to have. Andy's asking, has anybody heard anything about the Unibuild's A310 that coming with the 40th anniversary update? Nothing yet, actually, from that, except for everything that we already know over the last few weeks. And no news on FSLTL yet, Mikael. What they're trying to do effectively is bring a package to everybody that's going to offer really good depth, quality and everything else without there having to be too many updates in the initial bit of a release, if you like. So they're trying to get it to a phase where they can quite happily release it without them having to rush to try and patch things and improve elements of it. So they're trying to round it all off, package it up really nicely for a release FSLTL. So no news on how long that's going to take though, of course. Matthew's looking forward to the Spruce Goose. see the Alps starting to draw in over the distance as well, just behind the wing now, starting to head over into Austrian airspace. Erin's saying, hello, did you think GSX Pro is worth it? It's a question I get on a lot of live streams. We had it actually during Pushback too, same question. Personally, it was a little bit of a pain in the backside. To begin with. Once it's been installed properly and you've got it all working quite nicely as well, I actually think it's really, really very good, and it offers you a much nicer immersion to it too. Just to the sim in general, boarding, disembarkation, that sort of thing, pushback, providing you've got good profiles that work with it too. Then it works very, very nicely indeed. Not had any crash to desktops linked to GSX yet. I think initially post-release it was a little bit confusing, and it was you know, a lot of people were, including myself actually, were thinking that that was the cause of our crashes, but actually it was other stuff. So that's the reason why we then created a sort of myself and 737 driver both created a little bit of a sort of statement retraction, if you like, to sort of say we'd got it wrong. I'll try and get a nice screenshot as we pass over the Alps here. It's always nice for screen grabs. I'll have to go external for that one. It's going to be 1 o'clock UK time for it as usual, probably, most likely, 1200 UTC. Erin's saying, do you have Track IR? No, so what I've got is, it's Tobii Eye Tracker, so we can have a little look around using that, using our custom views. It's actually the first time I've used it here in this scenario. It's really quite nice. Look at that down there. Let me try something, bear with me. Where do you sit on the plane? Usually your head's about here, isn't it? Right? No, that's too high. So this is where the model actually looks a bit off from Fenix, because is your head about here usually? Maybe it is. Yeah, perhaps. So we're sat here on the plane enjoying a nice little flight, looking around the cabin. It's actually quite cool. That, and then we look out over the wing, over the Alps. Stunning. Yeah, not so much Track IR, this is the Tobii Eye Tracker 5. If you're interested in anything like this, by the way, folks, then click the link that's in the description for today's live stream, or you can just type in the link https://tobii with 2 i's .gg/BritishAvGeek, and if you use the code BritishAvGeek at checkout, you get 5% off the price as well, which is quite cool. Aaron, hello. Very well, thank you. Hope you're okay. Considering getting back into Microsoft Flight Simulator at some point, I would like to know if hardware such as joysticks are mandatory. Yeah, absolutely. I would say they're mandatory. You know, some people use controllers and they use keyboards, mouse, that sort of thing. But to be honest, if you want a proper experience for Flight Sim, you need a proper controller with you, whether it be a yoke or a stick. personally, I have the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight yoke. Has a really nice 4-engine throttle quadrant that comes with it, loads of configurable buttons, and a really nicely made yoke as well. So for me, that's the perfect solution at the moment. And I would recommend getting some rudder pedals as well. Parish, yeah, it is pricey. It's 200 or so quid, isn't it? I think. More expensive now if you're living in the UK because of the way the currency exchange rates and things work. But at least 5% off helps. Basically saying the next update for GSX, they're supposed to make it compatible with marketplace scenery. That's quite cool. Not sure how well that would work though. Marketplace scenery, because I know some of it relies on using the BGLs. That dramatic landscape below there, the Alps. That's fine, Max. I get that. You've usually got a negative opinion about everything that's mentioned, so I'm not surprised, but I get the point. The point there is if it's a product that you're going to buy and you want to buy, then out of the options available, this is the one that I've tried now, and this is the one that I'm actually quite enjoying using in certain scenarios. Testing it out, putting it through its paces, and I figured because other people might want the same thing, then 5% off with the channel discount code would be something quite nice to offer. Big Cat says the best hardware that he's ever bought was the Bravo throttle, by far. Yeah, I'd love to get a honeycomb setup at some point in the future, it'd be really nice. They do make some wonderful products, don't they? Matthew there saying Tobii Eye Tracker 5 also works in X-Plane 12 as well, and DCS. Really good for DCS as well. It's got its own custom profile for DCS, so smashing around in an F-18 you can look around and it's actually quite useful to use. What's nice is it's toggleable, so we're having a little look now. Again, it's linked to eye and head, and it's native in MSFS. It's got its own sensitivity settings which are inside the sim settings when you plug in the Tobii Eye Tracker 2, which is quite neat. Makes it nice and easy to set up. Neil loves his honeycomb setup. I think that is probably, out of all of the sort of mainstream hardware products available, I think honeycomb have still got that leading edge for it all, really. Dreamline GT says new NVIDIA driver on the NVIDIA page is ready for download. Awesome, that's what we've been looking forward to. That's what we've been needing as well for the DLSS features in Sim Update 10. Don't forget Focus as well, so I'll be downloading that straight away tonight. Doug, good day to you. Good evening in Australia. Asking when are you next flying in Australia? I'm a tower controller and love it if you visited. Not sure when we're going to be flying Australia next. At some point soon. We need to plan Thursday's live stream. That's going to involve the new scenery in Europe again. It's in Poland, unfortunately, so it's not quite Australia. And then I think it'll be Canada on Sunday because of the World Update being released on Thursday evening. So the next stream there will then be Sunday. We'll be in Canada then. So what else? Let's have a little look. Wednesday before a night shift, by the looks of it, will be the next stream on the 5th. That we could do Australia then, perhaps. If not, it might be Saturday the 8th or the 9th. That weekend, though, I might... no, actually, it'll be the weekend after. I might struggle with streams. I've got a promotion interview selection board and things like that coming up on the 19th of October, so a critical phase for me in my career that I have to get right. So I'm going to be spending a few days really preparing, getting my head down, preparing for that selection process on the 19th that I need to pass. It'd be woefully embarrassing if I don't pass it. Interviews and management scenarios, all sorts of stuff to get through. Okay, could be Saturday the 8th then potentially. Depends on what happens in work. If I get that day off cancelled for overtime and things like that, then things will change. But yeah, we could look at maybe Saturday the 8th. Doc won't forget. Doc won't let me forget. But yeah, the 8th of October. No, I'm not in the army. I can't, unfortunately, talk about what I do for work, so it doesn't really help. It keeps the mystery there, though, doesn't it? John's on his way. What's quite interesting looking out in front of the aircraft at the moment is the fact that you can see all these tops of big fluffy cumulus clouds up here, some fairly naff weather to the sort of northwest, if you like, or northeast, sorry, but then looking out further towards the Adriatic coast, it's going to be down further southbound. It's actually looking quite smooth over that way. But what's nice is you can kind of almost identify the fronts now. No, that'd be epic. Only if it's a possibility, of course. Juliet Charlie Mike's 25 minutes behind. What's a good distance? I'm trying to catch up, but I don't want to be too close. Raise my cost index to 200. Well, I guess you can't go any faster. That's fair enough. You'll catch up quite quickly, though. Don't forget, Juliet Charlie Mike. But remember to try and be accurate through your descent phase. Otherwise, that Boeing 737 will run away from you quite quickly as well. Aaron, I think if you were using a keyboard and a trackpad, you might struggle with a Microsoft Flight Simulator. It depends on the aircraft of choice, though, of course. Maybe for default aeroplanes, you might be able to leave it quite automated. Depends what you want with some experience. If you and your budget as well. Let's be reasonable. The cost of living has gone through the roof at the moment. Yeah, I mean the way the economy is at the moment over the last week, thanks to the morons that are dealing with the economy and stuff at the moment, just everything's tanked, and even my my house purchase is at risk at the moment, which is causing a great deal of stress. So hardware-wise, it depends exactly what your budget is and what you're looking to get. And I can only really fairly give an opinion on what I've got and what I use. Yeah, I think you would struggle with the keyboard trackpad setup, Aaron, to be totally honest. Unknown user saying, check my DMs on Discord. Need you to help with something. Let me check on my phone. I don't tend to get on Discord too much when I'm streaming. Haha, Neil. Yeah, very true. It's just frustrating, isn't it? Unfortunately, the other option, Rishi Sunak, warned about all this, and he got ignored. And he got told he was wrong, and now look what's happening. Unknown user, I don't actually know who you are on Discord. Which is a bit difficult to try and then work out. How far am I moving away from my current home? About 45 minutes away, moving further into the countryside, which is going to be a pain in the backside for my commute, but it's going to be a much nicer quality of life. Well, look at that, there's the halfway point, folks. ETP, equal time point. Exactly halfway between Amsterdam and Athens. That little marker there, that ETP marker, the little circle will fly through. Andreas, hello, welcome. Mark, welcome to you as well. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. Doug's saying, what's this non-standard altitude? We're at flight level 370. I think, let me check FlyLife Studio. I think that's probably what you're looking at, isn't it? What does it say on there? 36,620 feet. Yeah, so that's the real altitude, based on the pressure around us. So obviously we're standard pressure, flight level 370, but realistically, in the area we're flying at the moment, the actual pressure altitude is 36,619 feet. Which is nice because the sim aims to try and replicate realistic pressure as best as possible, and it does a really good job of it. Jonas is going the other way. He's off to Copenhagen from Athens. Very nice. Oh, PXT. Yeah, unfortunately, if you want to raise me, the best thing to do is actually just speak to me inside my Discord server, because I get bombarded with DMs, and unless you're a developer, I tend to just brush over the DMs. PXT is asking in Discord, got a question about working at the airport effectively, working things like ground service and anything to do with the airport and aviation. Do you need a certificate? What, PXT, what, or unknown user, what do you mean by certificate? You mean like, you know, educational qualifications or something else? Automator, good question. I don't know the answer to that. I haven't actually asked. There's a lot going on at the moment in my personal life. I've not really been able to ask too much, or yeah, that sort of thing. Hopefully, it'll be very good. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Unibuild's LAX. It looks absolutely spectacular. So I guess all I can say is watch this space and fingers crossed. Awesome, yeah, the Zama Zorki 3 Bravo arrival, isn't it, into Athens? I mean, it's a bit early to check the approaches, but we can have a look now, I suppose. There we are, exactly halfway. Happy days. Zorki 2 Charlie. No, we want 3 Bravo. There we go, that's that one. So Zorki down to Kia, and then from Kia, you can see actually from Kia there's nothing. And that's because from there, if we that's pinned at the moment, we're expecting ILS 21 right, aren't we? Or at least that's what we planned for initially. So let's find that. So there's Kea. 21 right is going to be up here at the top, so we're going to be having to probably vector ourselves up towards Christos VOR, and then we'll sort of round this little bit of water here, round and then in. It depends what the charts say though. Yeah, there we go. So from Kea, 349 degrees up towards 26 DME, and then a slight 16 DME arc by the looks of it in to the ILS. So we'll have to do a bit of self-vectoring magic there. Awesome. And then we can pin the charts as well for the airport and the parking stands too. We'll go through that in a lot more detail in a little while. Educational certificates, unknown user says. So it depends exactly on the role really. It's hard to say. Baggage handlers, ground control, that sort of thing, working in ops, airside ops, working around the aircraft doing loading and maybe turnaround, dispatcher, that sort of work. You don't need particularly anything juicy educational certificate wise, qualification wise for education, but again it's kind of hard to give you a definitive answer. The only thing I could really suggest is look at all of the various companies for the airport that you're looking at applying to go and work at. Look at the companies there that are recruiting for the particular roles you might be interested in, and see what the eligibility criteria for each of those roles is, because one company might say to you, you need GCSEs grade A to C in maths, and the next one might say it doesn't need that. So yeah, it's difficult to kind of work that out really. Jonas looking forward to KLAX as well for mini builds, hopefully not too many bugs. Andy's saying the latest Salty 747 has VNAV with top of descent, but the plane didn't start to descend on VNAV. Has anyone else had that issue? To be totally honest, I haven't flown the Salty 747 for probably about a year now. I just kind of felt that like it was falling by the wayside a little bit, and progress had really slowed down, so I'd kind of stopped using it, to be totally fair to it. Heavy division with the 787 again is something I've not used for quite a while too. Known user, one thing that you might be interested in if you're looking at maybe like the air traffic control side of things is maybe have a look at the NATS website. They've got a lot of ATC related vacancies at the moment. Some of them might be 2-year contracts, fixed term contracts and things, but that would certainly open the door into the world of being an air traffic controller, which would be quite cool. Again, it depends on your personal circumstances and your qualifications and your ability and that sort of thing too, but yeah, definitely have a look at that as well. NATS website. You might even land yourself a job at Heathrow doing some sort of ATC related work. Automator, yeah, that was the last time we flew it. A whole year ago, 787 Heavy Division aircraft mod. Oh, that is a long time ago, isn't it? Again, that's another one that kind of slowed down on development. I felt like it had almost ground to us a halt a little bit, so then I've seen recently Heavy Division are trying to now look at branching out, and they want to develop a 787-9 as well as the 787-10 as well. And yeah, it could be a good route that we could fly. And then you're saying, by the way, recently started flying the Headwind A330. It's pretty good. Certainly a lot better than the PMP version of the A330, which has obviously also now been re-released, but still not a fan of them. The way they left the community a year or so, or plus over a year ago, in a very abusive way, firing abuse at all sorts of corners of the community. I don't think it's something that I actually want to bother with, to be honest. My moral compass says no. But yeah, the Headwind A330 is really nice, and again, it's a project that I don't think it's been updated for a couple of months now, but certainly nice because it works quite well with the fly-by-wire systems. Keep smashing the like button, folks. If we get to 100 before we get near to Athens, it's always a nice thing to try and achieve. Triple digits on the thumbs up. And I'm hoping we get to Athens around sunset time, or even into the evening. It would be beautiful where FlyTampa's Athens is exquisite with that night lighting emissives. Neil, no, using live weather. That's the wind at the moment, or the weather at the moment in Athens. 220 degrees at 13 knots. All the nines. Scattered cloud at 3,000. And the spread's still the same between temperature and dew point, QNH 1007. And no significant changes in the next 2 hours. Should be pretty good for us. What we can do, we're still quite a way away, actually, to be honest. VRANA, PETAK, PINDO, Picos. When we get to PETAK, we'll then refresh the METAR. We'll think about then planning for our arrival into Athens. And we're subtly monitoring vPilot as well, just to see if we end up with a controller online. Doc, awesome. So those of you with the NVIDIA driver, in fact, let me see if I can Google it. We can work out what it looks, what says it should offer us in the changelog. That is spectacular. Look at that for a view, folks. Microsoft Flight Simulator as real as it gets. No news, you're going to be waiting a while, I'm afraid. I think over a year. It's something I keep repeating. It's something that I'm not even that excited about yet, because it's so far away, it's pointless me getting hyped about it, because it may never even arrive. Let's face it, it's a voluntary thing. a lot of freeware projects have failed. I'm not saying it will, but we just don't know, do we? So what's the point in getting excited about something that's over a year away, at least potentially? It doesn't say what the driver versions and stuff are, unfortunately. It says GeForce Game Ready Driver WHQL, driver version 517.48, released September the 27th, 2022. But it doesn't say what it kind of unleashes. Matthew, so it's only, I think, some files like the aircraft config file that's been decrypted, but it doesn't actually allow that much tweaking, I don't think. It doesn't, not drastic amounts anyway. Doug, welcome on board, thanks for subscribing, and Andy Rich as well, hello to you, welcome on board folks. Unknown user says, what's your personal favourite aircraft to fly? In the sim, out of the options available, the PMDG 737-800 by a long shot, but the one that I'd look forward to the most would be probably the Boeing 757. Whoever makes it, hopefully there's a decent one. And it'd be nice to have a 767 as well, as Joey's saying there too. 757 and the 767 go hand in hand really, so it'd be nice to have both at the same time. Those old school Thomson Airways, Britannia Airways kind of ops from yesteryear, Thomas Cook Airways and all that as well. Neil, I knew you'd say that. His favourite there, Neil's favourite's the PMDG 737-600, the pocket rocket. Always great fun flying that, and an incredible price point as well. I still can't get over the price of that 736. Peter, good afternoon to you, welcome. The Tampa Bay area of Florida is facing its most dangerous hurricane for more than a century. Hurricane Ian hurtling towards Florida as experts warn. This is no joke, apparently. Of all the advice to give, I don't think you would call it the most serious. Oh, yeah, very odd. Let's try and find it on VRANA though. So we have got map settings here. Weather. Turn 3D mode off because that's going to give us a couple of juicy frames back. Let's zoom over here. There she is. Juicy. Oh, there she is there. Wowzers, look at that. La Palma. Of course. NOAA 1. Somebody flying around it. Epic. So at the moment it's right on the west coast of Cuba. The eye is around La Palma at the moment. Look at that. Zoom out. Ominous. Absolutely incredible. And it's obviously hurtling over towards Miami up here. there an airport here? Matahambre Airport, MUMH. Well, MUPR, let's go for that one actually. MUMH, let's see if we can find the METAR for it. No such weather profile. Let's try another. MUPR. No weather. Tourist La Asunción, La Francia, Las Zagales, La Cabana, El Caribe, MUBE. No weather. Who knows? It looks horrendous though, doesn't it? I've been in the Dominican Republic when Hurricane Maria hit, and that was Category 5, straight over the hotel. It tore lots of it apart, but I tell you what, it was incredible to be in. It's interesting in a way because you kind of see nature unleashed, and I was kind of in my resort in the hurricane shelter. I popped out a couple of times to this little veranda thing that was covered away from a lot of the weather, and just the videos that I've got are just insane. Hurricane Ian's supposed to hit Tampa at around a Category 3. It's not too bad then. Category 3 is still pretty bad, of course, but Maria was Category 5 when it swept over our hotel and it destroyed a lot of stuff, but it certainly didn't feel massively dangerous. Or then perhaps maybe I was just so in awe of what was happening that the danger element of it didn't really register in my brain, perhaps. Standing out in the eye of the storm, though, I'll tell you that, was very, very odd, because it just went super calm, really eerie, quite, it's about 30-40 minutes, something like that, and then it just went crazy again. And at that point it started to kind of die itself off, and it dropped down to Category 4 after the eye had passed. It was kind of like moving away from us. It was an interesting holiday, I'd say that much. So over the sort of Adriatic nations now, you can see further up in the distance there the Adriatic coast. Beautiful part of the world to fly around in. Microsoft Flight Simulator, always really nice to fly around there. Usually it means that we can get some spectacular views over this side of the aeroplane as well, as we've been seeing already. We've been on that side for a little while. Andy, yeah, see, that is absolutely mad. I don't think it's anything I'd dare do as a cyclist. But I suppose in the States, hurricane chasing is a huge thing, isn't it? It's oddly something quite popular. Yeah, that's another one as well. Doc's saying there, Super Typhoon Noru was hitting the Philippines yesterday. It's now heading towards Vietnam. It's the biggest typhoon in the last 2 decades for that region. Let's see if we can try and find that too. on Volanta. Philippines towards Vietnam. You are there, man. I assume it's going to be this. Can't see an eye. So it's properly mad weather. But I assume it's going to be this here. Kind of looks like it's killing itself off though. Where's Ho Chi Minh? Oh, it's down there. We want to get an airport in here somewhere. Phuket, Daegu. No, that's not going to help. BDRK. Actually, if we click it, it doesn't give us a METAR at all. Oh, there we go, that's an international airport, VVCA. Ah, boo. Da Nang. There you go. QNH 909 at 8 hectopascals, 26 degrees. Winds 350 degrees at 25 knots. Heavy rain. Few cloud 400. Broken 800. Winds are gusting 350 at 25, gusting 39 knots. Crazy. There is a website where you can find the super crazy stuff as well. Christopher, that's not good. Saying his Tobii 5 is refusing to work in MSFS. What's happening? Is there something we can perhaps try and diagnose live? Or I know some people have had it blocked by the firewall. Some people have had issues with the settings of it. Ooh, accidentally knocked the. There we go. Just knocked the thrust there bizarrely, and seems my throttle gates had changed. Rotofib, hello to you, saying looks impressive on Sky Vector. Just noticed I'd made a slight mistake with my Tobii Eye Tracker setup, because it's missing one magnet. There's something I can do on the fly though. No pun intended there, of course. What's nice is you get a spare set of magnets inside the packaging, so if you end up moving it to another screen or something like that, then you can you've got an extra set of magnets just in case for the back of the Tobii Eye Tracker, which is quite nice. Mark's ended up reinstalling Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, that's not good. Christopher, yeah, it says you have to, if you've got Open Track and Track IR, I think it is actually, Track IR, you have to uninstall it. Brits, I'm using a curved display. Right, how's that METAR changing? 230 at 15. Slightly increased spread. 25 over 18. In fact, how's it changed? 26.19, wasn't it? It's just gone down as we each, perhaps. Good old lawnmower simulator, only the best. Job, welcome aboard. I was going to say fly one, Mark, but yeah, go on. Air Moldova it is. The Cocalada. So we've got PETAK in 80 nautical miles. And then from there what we'll end up doing is having a little look at the actual arrivals into Athens, because we will be about 3/4 of the way there roughly now, I think. And then we're going to be thinking about descent not too long after that. Interestingly, you usually get Athens radar online. We don't have them online this time. GoPro cam. Good grief. TripAdvisor 1.5 star out of 5 on for Fly 1. That's not very good, is it? Here's a bit of news for you guys. There's something exciting on the horizon apparently. Virgin Atlantic is joining SkyTeam Alliance. What do you think of that? What do you make of that news? The latest member of the SkyTeam Alliance is going to be Virgin Atlantic in 2023. News. Tiny airline though, realistically, when you look at the other options within SkyTeam. Certainly not like the whoppers that are in One World Alliance, like BA and American Airlines and all that. Some of the world's biggest airlines, all part of that massive alliance, mega alliance almost. But what that will then do is open up a lot of more options of actually flying Virgin, a lot more connections and everything else as well globally. Yeah, that'd be the next question, I suppose, John, as well. What will their SkyTeam logo jet be sort of liveried on? Will it be the A330 Neo, which they're kind of using as a bit of a flagship now as well? Or will it be on the A350 or the Dreamliner? unknown user, I would say the 800 out of the options available. That looks like Dubrovnik, maybe? Is that down there? No, not Dubrovnik. What's it called? Tivat. Dubrovnik is, funnily enough, there. That's Dubrovnik. And on the nose there, just going underneath the windows to that. And then Podgorica is up here somewhere within these hills. Sean, if your sim is working fine, then don't worry about uninstalling it and reinstalling it. If it's working absolutely fine, then it's pointless changing anything really, and risking actually then causing a problem. Side, hello to you, welcome. July Airports. Birdman's just spawned there. Madness. Verna, hello to you. Yesterday evening as well, speaking of 737-800s, Copa had a Boeing 737-8 involved in a runway incursion in Panama City. There's been quite a few of those lately actually, quite a few runway incursions, overruns and all that sort of thing over the last few weeks. There's been about 3 or 4 in the news, which is doesn't usually happen that many times. It's bizarre. Athena Radar Online, fantastic. I think we will be speaking to them in about 20-30 minutes as well. On 29675. So that's all primed and ready. I think from Pindo is when we speak to them, but I might be wrong. Let's have a look at Volanta. Yeah, Pindo. It's leaving Albanian airspace into Greek airspace. And the one at Marseille, yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? It's like they've all forgotten how to do landing performance calculations. Andrew, hello to you. Welcome. Love Athens Radar. Yeah, they are incredibly well talented, aren't they? Will I be using VATSIM radio again anytime soon? Fritz says, yeah. Once I'm happy the sim is nice and stable and things like that again, then I'm slowly adding these add-ons back in again. So VATSIM radio is actually the next one I'm going to be putting back in over the next couple of days. FPS Gaming can't see any better performance on NVIDIA Driver 517.4 compared to the last one. The DirectX 12 has given you a loss of 2 to 4 frames per second. Is that with the settings that are in the sim menu that turn on DLSS on and things like that then? Which I'm actually looking forward to trying out, because I've got an RTX 2070 Super which is compatible with DLSS. And therefore I'm going to try and maybe look at doing that. And yeah, the new 4 generation series cards are going to be coming out too. Although, do you need 190 odd frames per second in a flight sim? No, is the answer. If you get 60, nice and stable all the time, that's all you need. So I think I would just be happy to get that. Ooh, 5 minutes to go. Here's one for Flight Radar, folks. It's not trackable though, unless you look for the registration on Flight Radar. November 882 Echo Victor. The Evasion Alice is airborne for the first time ever out of Moses Lake in the States. 43,000 individual battery cells airborne for the first time. DA Aviator, yes, so is that with the new NVIDIA update that's just been released today? Or is that previously, as we were all finding it was very blurry in the previous driver update, we were told to wait for this one that's just been released today? Skywalker, same question as well. Is that with the new NVIDIA driver update? Because we know DLSS makes your flight deck instruments blurry with the old one, the one that we've all got installed at the moment, the one that I'm using today. But the new NVIDIA driver update has just come out, which supposedly gets rid of that. Right here, AIG is pretty heavy, to be fair, MPS. It is pretty heavy indeed. I think it'll be an interesting test, won't it? To see whether or not this new NVIDIA driver update has actually fixed a lot of the sort of weird blurriness that DLSS gave us, because we all tried it. I tried it recently as well, and then everything got super blurry. So 4090 though, I don't know, is it worth it? Not sure, not convinced yet. Lateral revisions from Athens. Digitatus. This is from the controller now. Athena. Venizelos Airport Information Alpha recorded at 1350 Zulu. Landing runway 2 on right, takeoff runway 2 on left, transition level 100. Wind is 230 degrees at 15 knots, scattered cloud at 3000, temperatures 25 degrees with dew point 18, QNH 1007. Concentration of birds in the vicinity, identifies an information, initial contact, you have information Alpha. 14 likes to go, Doug. Happy days. Thank you to everyone who's hit the like button so far. It is, yeah, 2 on right. Happy days. I want to make sure I get that right at least. And we want the XORKI 3 Bravo arrival. And then we should be told by the controller to expect vectors to the ILS. By Kea. Go to plan mode and bring this into 40. We kind of just step through it now. You should see, there we go. Look at that. In fact, the gap between Kea and then the little DME arc procedure around the VOR is actually already on the nav data, which is pretty cool. Birdman says, just tried the new NVIDIA driver on DLSS balanced in MSFS and it did not look blurry. That sounds really promising then. Happy days. Very excited to try that out then, if that's the case. And just out of curiosity, Birdman, what NVIDIA driver do you, or what, sorry, graphics card do you have? Going to tune over to Athens now. Just have a little listen.
Subspace 1 Zulu Victor Athens LGAV identified. Turn right heading 100 degrees.
And then in here we can start thinking about, it's quite loud by the way, so hopefully you can still hear me okay. We're going to start putting in some of the arrival information as well. Even if it changes slightly, it shouldn't be too dissimilar. Transition number 100.
Shape 10 Victor, stop descent altitude
100, there we go, and winds 230 at 15. And then the minimums, we need to think about that too. So, we're going to try a couple of things. Doc noted, it's down to the controller today though. He might give us a completely different arrival procedure, who knows?
Ocean 1 to Alpha Calcutta Athens identified, currently number 4 for the approach, turn right heading 150 degrees, cancel approach.
Where's number graph? So no matter what, it doesn't matter what approach we end up getting, but we're going to end up doing this.
Turn right heading 240 degrees.
ILS approach into 21 right. So, we're going to set a couple of fixed rings. We're going to make sure this SAT VOR is tuned 1096. We're going to need to make sure that the nav is tuned to the ILS as well 1105, and the course is 212 in the MCDU. Minimums at 2 ILS 382, so we can put now in the box on the MCDU 382 Barrow. If we were going to use a RADALT, we would put 94. See what happens. Missed approach is there as well. Climb straight ahead to the SAT VOR interceptor, follow radial 212 at 8 DME, outbound right turn, intercept, follow the 252 to the EGN NDB, and then hold, climb to 4,000. In order to commence an ILS approach runway 21 right again, we continue to climb in, holding to 7,000, refer to minimums missed approach climb gradients.
Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, ready to copy clearance.
Ready to copy clearance, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo.
Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, clear to Vienna, runway 16, VATSIM 1 Echo departure, climb flight level 80, squawk 20.
So we go here. Interesting, the ILS frequency is not in.
VAVAX 1 X-ray departure, official climb 8,000, squawk. Could you repeat the squawk again?
So 110.5. Course F 212.
Left to land 34, Ocean 74. Ocean 1 to Alpha, turn left heading 070.
Agena 382, which is the EGN ADF frequency.
Ocean 8 kilo, ACD VARIX 1 Echo, out of runway 16, squawk 2072.
That's odded VOR, but I want to tune 1096. And I want that to be SAT, SAT.
8 Mike Kilo, clear to Vienna of BAVAX 1 Echo departure, initial climb
It's like miles away.
feet of runway 16 and the squawk is 2072.
And Athens 1144.
Ocean 1 to Alpha, continue left turn direct Kilo Romeo 601,
ATV.
clear Tarna, runway 34.
Which we don't really need, but I'll leave it in there just in case. And runway length wise, if we go back to Navigraph, let's clear these Amsterdam charts. We don't need these, they're just going to be confusing otherwise. So once we land, we've then got on runway 2 on right, quite a long runway, 3,800 metres, look, and there's lots of high-speed exit Alpha 6, 5 and 4. And I was considering using flat config 3 for a faster approach for minimum runway occupancy, but actually if I do that we might end up vacating nearer towards Alpha 5 when it might be better for us to use Alpha 6 instead, that shorter taxi across Alpha 7 Hotel in towards the south aprons here, the main terminal apron. So the question there is going to lie with what our performance calculation says.
Up here, and senior request traffic clearance to Copenhagen flight level 330.
61.8 tons at the moment.
Bravo, clear to Copenhagen, runway 21 left, Dropbox 1, Foxtrot, climb 7,000 feet, squawk 2051.
And it's expecting an estimated landing weight of around 60 tons.
Precision via Dropbox 1, Foxtrot departure, runway 21 left in use, initial climb 7,000 feet, and squawk 2051.
2 on right. I'm going to put good, runway surface good, we're not sure.
Continue Alpha, down 6.
Apply the METAR.
Austrian 754.
Top 381 Zulu Victor, runway 1, correction runway 34, clear to land, the wind 140.
60 tons, and we can see what we have here. Another 200 metres on flap 3. So yeah, we'll do full flap and reverse idle. Auto land gives a 300, wow, almost 300 metre difference between auto land performance, look. We go to manual landing and even less for landing distance, that's quite incredible. Alright, even good to medium, that should work. We should be able to vacate around Alpha 6, so low auto brake, idle reverse and full flap at 60 tons.
34 if possible, 285.
285 direct Mike Kilo 512, clear Tarna, runway 34.
Good days.
Direct Mike Kilo 12, you said 285.
Maxed out, yes it is.
Mike Kilo 512, clear to Rana.
Scandinavian 68 Romeo, pushback approach facing north.
Pushback approach facing north, Scandinavian 68 Romeo.
In the center, Austria 8 Mike Kilo is ready to start and pushback.
3821.
Mike Kilo, push and start approach facing north. Q&8 Mykonos 1009.
There's basically 1,700 metres of runway left, which is going to be around Alpha 6, potentially even Alpha 5 with that config, so I'm quite happy with that. See what happens. The fuel isn't quite right on here anyway, so the fuel burn and things is actually a lot less than it should be. I think gross weight and things should be around 60 tons when we get there. Joey Goofy, same. Birdman says DLSS balanced quality looks good with 20% reduced GPU loads. That's epic. That's really good. Might not even need to replace my 2070 Super then.
Ocean 112, reduce final approach speed. Copy, still number 2, becoming number 1 shortly, number 1 1 mile final.
I guess it's going to be one of those things where DLSS, for those of us with the older GPUs like the 2070, 2080 Supers,
731, proceed direct to 1 down.
I think in that instance it's going to probably be a much greater improvement than, say, MPS Gaming has with his 3090 Ti apps, which is why he's saying that TAA is actually better for him in his spec.
6 Mike Charlie identified, proceed direct Xabis 1 Alpha arrival.
Direct Xabis and Xabis from Alpha arrival, so on 6 Mike Charlie.
Ocean 1 to Alpha, runway 34, clear to land, 14037 knots.
Cool, now we're in Athens airspace.
Top Swiss 81 Zulu Victor, right on to Alpha, ramp number 5.
Athens radar, good evening, DutchBird 165, flight level 370, overhead, Pindo.
DutchBird 165, Athens, hello, new squawk 6775.
Squawk 6775, DutchBird 165. Look at that for crosswind, 80 knots. Mega. Oh yeah, what's the performance actually?
1 kilo, runway 16, flight level 80, squawk 6716.
130 for landing. Mark 180. And then we're going to mark 160, the old 160 till 4 DME type thing that we sometimes talk about.
Scandinavian 68 Romeo ready for taxi.
Scandinavian 68 Romeo taxi, Delta 7, Delta calling for in 21 left.
Delta 7, Delta holding on to 1 left. Scandinavian 68 Romeo.
I need to get a new graphics card, new CPU and stuff that supports 4K in the near future, because I've now got a 4K screen, which is really exciting. Desperate to try and check that out, test it out, put it through its paces.
DutchBird 165 identified, proceed direct to XORKI, arrival XORKI 3 Bravo, runway 21 right.
Proceed direct to XORKI and XORKI 3 Bravo on S21 right expected, DutchBird 165. Wiggle shortcut. Actually still a straight line. But we'll do the direct 2 as instructed. Good afternoon. Blown up. Keith, yeah, certainly is. Very good payware for Fenix. Performance is a bit better actually as well with this new version that they've given us, so really nice to see. It's been an enjoyable experience so far. Don't forget, when we get to Athens, folks, as well, in a short while from now, we will fire up GSX again for deboarding.
Athena radar, good day, lot 418, flight level 410.
Block 418, Athens, hello, squawk 6773.
6773 for lot 418.
Athena Center, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo is ready to taxi.
Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, taxi straight ahead, Alpha 1.
Certainly will be, Birdman. I think that will be the point at which I will start to look at. It depends on prices and cost of living and everything else as well, I suppose, as a bit of a sidearm to the argument. But that's where I'll be looking at potentially replacing my computer with something with the 4000 series RTX graphic cards and some more of the latest CPUs and things, but it all depends on my finances at the time. Leo, yeah, I do. Really cheap option for rudder pedals, Thrustmaster T Flight rudders pedals, but yoke and throttle, I've got the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 for those.
EG909, flight level 350.
Keith, yeah, I quite like GSX.
Hello, EG909 Athens, walk 6770.
David G, hello buddy. It has indeed.
6770,
And for all accounts, it sounds very promising.
Lufthansa 448, your Christopher.
Lufthansa 448, hello, EG5. Yeah, correction, DZ909 identified, proceed direct Nebra, arrival Nebra to Alpha, runway 21 right.
Proceed direct Nebra, Nebra 2 Alpha, arrival 21 right, EG909.
Not sure, Leo, on the Fenix Discord at least.
Osprey 131 Golf with you at flight level 370.
Osprey 131 Golf, Athens hello, identified.
It's nice to have a bit of ATC towards the end as well. We had some nice controller, Amsterdam radar on the way out. It's always nice as well.
3131 Golf, proceed direct XORKI, arrival XORKI 3 Bravo, ILS 21 right.
Proceed direct XORKI, XORKI 3B, arrival ILS 23 right, Osprey 131 Golf.
Blown up, have you, what's your graphics card? Depends if you've got an RTX graphics card, otherwise it won't, because it's not, you won't be eligible for it, if that makes sense. It has to be a graphics card that supports DLSS, which is basically an NVIDIA GeForce RTX graphics card, from what I understand. But you've got to also enable it inside your NVIDIA Control Center as well. So go to your NVIDIA Control Center, enable it in there, and then you should be able to see it appear inside the sim.
The 448 info Bravo correct, clear to Frankfurt, runway 16, all got to Delta departure, flight level
really high level cirrus cloud there, pretty much similar level to us, look, panning around there, lovely.
Clear to Frankfurt via all got to Delta departure, factor route, climb flight level 80, squawk 2014.
93 knot crosswind now, and increasing all the time. Zorki's going to take us straight over the airfield. What's the nav data say here?
Athens Radar, Eurowings 5561, flight level 340, inbound Amsterdam.
Eurowings 5561, Athens, hello, squawk 0057.
0057,
After an 8 Mike Kilo, the Alpha 1, backtrack line up, runway 16, report ready.
Line up behind the landing.
26 miles.
8 Mike Kilo.
Well, I'm not going to fiddle with the VNAV, I want to see how well it's got it here, but that looks like its top of descent is very close to the airfield. I'm not too comfortable with that.
62 Osprey 270
EV909, proceed direct to Nepal.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, crazy crosswind. We've not had one this strong in a long time.
Jordanian 131 Papa.
Still not sure what the weather in Athens is actually going to look like when we get there either. We've got the META, but you can kind of visualise it in your head, but it never looks the same
Scandinavian 68 Romeo 220 degrees 16 knots, runway
as your
21 left,
visualisation does.
Runway 21 left, clear for takeoff, Scandinavian 68 Romeo.
Fenix A320 Tango Romeo, expect west for Sharna, runway 34, information Bravo. Straight 27 Juliet Mike identified, proceed direct Rockbox, arrival Rockbox 1 Bravo, runway 21 right.
Straight 27 Juliet Mike, direct Rockbox, to the Rockbox, 1 Bravo arrival, 21 right, that's great.
Data Center, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo.
Oscar 8 Mike Kilo.
So can we just
You've had a 15 knot crosswind landing at Manchester, very cool. Was it any gusts? In fact, that's another question, we spoke about it, touched on it briefly earlier. Who so far has had gusty approaches, and if you have, how have you found it? It's obviously one of the features of Sim Update 10 was more effective, more realistic gusts within the sim, which would be quite cool.
VAVAX on the VAVAX Yasta arrival for George 81.
That sounds like ABISO.
Center, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, we're ready for taxi.
Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, backtrack, via Alpha 1, runway 16.
Backtrack via Alpha 16, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo.
Commodore says, felt great, that's good to hear. Blown up, I think it's called DLA inside the NVIDIA control panel, and then there's a setting below it which has it's a setting, it's like a multiplier.
Flight level 80 initially, squawk 2004, information Bravo correct. Subspace 158 to Fox Street.
Prince, yes. Funny that, isn't it? Everybody wants the most realistic sim possible, and then Microsoft or Sobo give us gusts, which is an incredibly complex feature, but a really, really nice improvement to it all. And then people then, not everybody, a lot of people then complain that there's too gusty. But that's the point of gusts. And, you know, part of simming is you have to learn how to react and respond in flight with those. Active Sky, isn't that an X-plane thing? And if it's payware as well, then it doesn't really compare against MSFS, because this is MSFS default live weather, don't forget. With gusts and beautiful weather, cloud injection, cloud fall, visuals, everything like that all in place. So for me, I would suggest actually that MSFS would be better because it's free, it's included in the sim. In fact, if Sky's payware, not sure.
Center, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, ready for departure.
Oscar 8 Mike Kilo, 200 degrees, 15 knots, runway 16.
You tuning in? We're flying. Whee! We're not flying down under, don't worry. We're flying in the DutchBird liveried A320 with Fenix Sim, latest hotfix for Sim Update 10. And it's an airline that survived for all of 4 years before going bust, as quickly as it started. Here she is. So far, really enjoyable. Imagine I had wind shear yesterday taken off from Manchester in the 736. That's epic. One of the liveries included in the Fenix liveries program. Well worth giving a go if you haven't explored this one yet.
Alternate Mike Kilo, continue climb flight level 120.
Continue climb flight level 120, Oscar 8 Mike Kilo.
I'm not convinced that top of descent mark is in the right place.
Amsterdam 355, we are ready for takeoff.
Astra 355, flat track runway 17, when ready, clear takeoff 17, estimated wind 200 degrees, 16 knots.
Track 17 at 7, ready, clear for takeoff 17.
What's wild is, let's see, this view is actually a real big offset because we're flying a crosswind, so we're actually flying in that direction over there.
At 165, descent flight level 170, rate of descent 1,500 or greater.
Descent flight level 170, 1,000 foot greater for DutchBird 165.
DutchBird 165, just confirm 1,500 or greater.
A firm 1,500 or greater for DutchBird 165, thanks.
Fenix A320, correction 84 Tango Romeo, turn right heading 170 degrees.
Heading 170, Fenix A320 Romeo.
So there's an issue with the VNAV calculations. I guess in parcel there it's probably nav data issue, but down we go. VNAV ball's gone way up there.
Scandinavian 68 Romeo, flying flight level 320.
Let's go to open descent, see what it does. Let's see what it tops out at. I mean, that's just wild. 3,000 foot per minute, come on. No. It's still pretty messy, isn't it?
GM 310, 110 degree 5 knots, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. Generator, lot 418, request descent.
Lot 418, thank you, descent flight level 18.
Very goofy, so the Volanta top of descent I find is way too early as well, by contrast there. There's the beautiful Greek coastline. Plane stop plot in Florida, what sort of liveries are you downloading? How are you extracting them, putting the actual contained folder into it, or are you putting zips into the community folder? Absolutely, Doctor, on board there. I completely agree with you. The VNAV here is quite messy. PMDG, by contrast, have got much better VNAV in their 737. There's quite a bit of a difference, isn't there, between the two? You can kind of trust the 737 to take care of itself, whereas this it just seems to be either too late or too early. It runs away from itself.
GN 310 identified, climb flight level 130.
Level 130.
Paris, that's fine. 14 minutes behind. Got a couple of people 20 minutes behind, so not an issue.
Report ready for I4.
Yeah, like Birdman's saying, they've had ages to fix the VNAV. This is something urgently that does need addressing. It affects every single flight that you do in the Fenix A320. VNAV is used every flight in some way or another. Oh, look at that. Stunning.
Athens Center, I had some problems with that connection, now on land again. Runway 34 in Mykonos is vacated. Can I have parking stand 1?
GN 385, taxi stand 1.
Stand 1.
Got a few screenshots put onto Volanta again.
Right, heading 180 degrees.
Heading 180, Jack. It's 44 to you.
Almost there, folks. Descending through mainland central Greece. Hope you've all been enjoying it so far today. First stream back proper airliner style with the Fenix updates and the Hotfix subsequently released after as well, and Sim Update 10. live weather working again quite nicely. GSX updated as well with the recent big update from the other day using their offline installer on their forums. A lot of new stuff in this today.
SGM 310, proceed direct to NEMEK, climb flight level 250.
Johan, yeah, it certainly does.
Direct to NEMEK and flight level 250.
Look at that turbulence, bumpy.
Off runway 8 Mike Kilo, climb flight level.
And what's interesting is it actually looks more fluid than before
Flight level 340,
in the sim as well, doesn't it?
Up 355, proceed direct to Scopel now, climb flight level 200.
Correct, Scopel level 200.
And we've got a 70 knot crosswind still.
3131 Golf, descent flight level 170, rate of descent 1,500 operator.
Flight level 3. Sorry, tell me the flight level again.
3131 Golf, level 170.
You're just welcome.
1,500 operator.
Let's see how the landing goes, Christopher, indeed.
Thank you.
DutchBird 165, descent flight level 100.
Descent flight level 100, DutchBird 165.
DutchBird 165, correction, descent 10,000, the QNH 1006.
10,000 QNH 1006, DutchBird 165. So through the descent, going to make sure my new QNH is set ready to go. When we get a little bit closer towards transition, I'll flick that across to the local pressure.
Command Golf Late Munich, runway 16, all guts to Delta, climb flight level 80, squawk 2007. Command Golf, prepare
Oh,
correct,
gee, that doesn't
confirm
sound
rate
good.
of push and start. Copy to report, sir. Subspace 15 to Fox taxi, Alpha.
My favourite part of the world to fly in.
Fenix A320 Tango Romeo, descent 5,000, the QNH 1005.
5,000, QNH 1005.
Yeah, I think it's a straight line, Doc.
Actually, I said Jordanian also.
Jordanian 131 Papa, descent flight level 200.
Here's one just for Jordanian 1
Easy 909, descent flight level 180.
Descent flight level 180, DT 909.
Maybe get traffic.
53 knot crosswinds.
Fenix A320 Tango Romeo, firm there is an aircraft, okay, just disconnected, but didn't follow my instructions, so right now it's disconnected, you can continue to send flight out.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks. Putting that in.
DutchBird 165, continue to send altitude 7,000 feet.
You descend 7,000 feet, DutchBird 165. Matthew, hello buddy, hope you're well. Looking forward to your first line trips in the big girl on the 20R. Hope you're okay. Fenix is working again quite nicely today.
The wind 140 degrees, 7 knots. Again 310, Nemes 1 Alpha arrival, Isla Zulu, 21 right now.
Just going to go back to open descent, just allow it to sort the speed out a little bit here and then continue again. The VNAV's well out at the moment, so I'm ignoring VNAV. Completely balked, that is.
Nemes 1 Alpha arrival, Isla 21 right now.
And we'll see how we go with this VNAV again. Just watching that vertical speed.
Mike, descent flight level 170. DutchBird 165, on rate of descent now altitude 4,000.
Descent 4,000, DutchBird 165.
Just from the 448, request.
Lufthansa 448.
Request taxi.
Lufthansa 448, taxi Alpha 3, call short 16.
Dan, good afternoon. Hope you're well. There is Athens. Don't know if you spotted a big concrete block.
MX 84 Tango Romeo navigation, proceed direct to bed decks.
He's given us clearance to descend to 4,000 feet, which is very low. See how we go with that. Razor Blade, hard to compare the two, to be honest. They've both got pros and cons. Performance-wise, this is definitely better now it's been updated.
Descent flight level 110.
Descent flight level 110, where is your 909?
Lot 418, descent flight level 110.
110, 418.
Athens radar, 35 on the radio check.
Turkish 58 on the WD4, hello. Top Swiss 158 to Fox, identified, climb flight level 240.
Yeah, blown up. I'm not going to be able to check that just yet, I'm afraid. Ultra Golf Hello is just the usual nonsense from Fly Live Studios overlay, I'm afraid. It keeps breaking. Let me refresh it.
Under 448, thank you. The Alpha 3, line up, clear takeoff 16, the wind 11037.
Thanks for letting me know.
Line up and check for takeoff on 748.
Should be working again for you now.
That's the 165, turn left heading 090, your range is 51 miles to touchdown from present.
Left 090 and Roger, DutchBird 165.
Osprey 131 Golf, turn left heading 120 degrees, descend flight level 110.
090 with the vectors.
You're going to have to give me that again, I'm sorry, I was miles away.
I hope it's not going to vector us to the ILS from here. We're at 13,000 feet.
Turn left heading 120 degrees, descend flight level 110.
Turn left 120.
I think he's going to take us over the approach path. Over the approach path and then back round.
909, turn right heading 200 degrees.
I hope.
Turn right 200 degrees, easy 90.
Well, I'm descending with speed brake now.
Top Swiss 15 Victor Fox, proceed direct Auckland.
Look at that, crazy. 4,000 foot per minute. Come on. It's a little wild, isn't it?
One of the 7 door Gonzo and
Three 10,000.
Spread 165, descent altitude 2,500.
Set altitude 2,500, DutchBird 165.
Osprey 131 Golf, descent altitude 7,000, the QNH 1006.
Descend 7,000, Osprey 131 Golf.
EC 909, descent altitude 4,000, the QNH 1006.
Descend altitude 4,000, QNH 1006, easy 909.
Astra 355 requesting final level 180.
Astra 355, rotor stop, climb flight level 18.
Stop level 180.
And this view. Oh yeah. Wait, so actually, sorry folks.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike,
That
descent
view.
flight level 110.
Athens, baby. And then we go to this view actually, it's going to have us
Lufthansa 448 identified.
Line overhead.
ID, climb flight level 240.
How is the flying computer? That's pretty epic, isn't it?
Easy 25 Fox, Unicom 1 to 2 days more late, leaving my airspace, bye. Easy 25 Fox, Unicom 1 to 28, bye. Jordanian 131 Papa, descent flight level 110.
Master caution for speed brake still being out. It's just reminding us there. That's fine. We know we've got a very steep descent here to try and catch up. I'm going to go to perf page. I'm going to activate the approach phase now as well. Just so the aeroplane's
right, heading 200, clear to local
in the right mind, if that makes sense. Andrew, yeah, that certainly do. VATSIM, Mike, good afternoon. Never too late for another Uzo. Ultra Golf Golf.
165, turn left heading 010 degrees.
010 degrees, DutchBird 165. I'm working really hard here to make sure that we are working to the vectors to try and help the controller out. He's obviously monitoring our altitude as well.
After departure, maintain runway heading, climb flight 780, walk 2047.
Here we go. Music's off, and we're making our way into the ILS now.
With 446 rate back one. Hot 418, descend altitude 8,000 feet, the QNH 1006.
8,000 feet, QNH 1006.
Let's do a little final check, lights, signs.
Fenix A320 Tango Romeo, runway 34, clear to land, 140 degrees 7.
Time for the crew. One last time.
Lufthansa 448, proceed direct Olga, confirm mode Charlie or mode Sierra.
I'm going to get my
Direct Olga and Charlie.
feet nicely on the rudder pedals.
165, turn left heading 250, clear to LS to 1 right.
F250 cleared ILS, runway 21 right, DutchBird 165. It's 265, wasn't it? Left 265. No, 245, left 245.
Hello, Sun Express 43 kilo Athens identified, proceed direct to Vexol.
Proceed direct to Vexol, Sun Express 4.
At least we're below the glide slope now.
Cloud 418, turn right heading 190 degrees.
190
3000s there. Happy days. It was. Just looking at this.
6 Mike Charlie, thank you. Descent flight level 110.
255.
Descent 110, Mike Charlie.
Spoilers have gone back in. Level at 25.
131 Golf, descent altitude 5,000.
5,000 feet, Osprey 10.
Lot 418, descent altitude 4,000.
4,000 for lot 418.
We're going down to 180 now, flaps are
Lot
on.
418, continue right turn heading 200 degrees.
200 degrees for lot 418.
Approach mode's active. And we've got to manage modes for heading and speed. QNH 1006 is set. And we're running at 10 miles to go.
Operator 7 Julius Mike, lead stop box heading 130 degrees.
Aircraft establishing.
15 Victor Fox, look to Incom 1 to 2 days later. Bye-bye.
DutchBird 165 is established 9 miles.
DutchBird 165, runway 21 right, clear to land, 210 degrees, 17 knots.
Clear land, runway 21 right, DutchBird 165.
Jordanian 131 Papa, maintain present heading, descent altitude 7,000, the QNH 10.
Could I actually ask the aeroplane to hold 160 for a little while just to keep the speed up? That's all good.
As an radar cut is better to reach at 4 Juliet Victor information, Charlie.
Set the missed approach.
Hello, we did 4 Juliet Victor, Athens,
Back 3, 7 miles.
Descent 4,000, the QNH 1005.
The hell?
Descent 4,000 feet, QNH 1005.
That's a very weird bit of behaviour.
Osprey 131 Golf, turn left heading 030 degrees.
Oh, I'm really watching this,
030 degrees, Osprey 131 Golf.
this glide slope now. Look at the weather, folks. Gusting 24, 25.
Washington Golf, Darab approved 1005 QNH.
Woohoo! Yeah, boy. Right, I'm cowboy.
Juliet Victor, proceed direct to PETAK. Clear Amsterdam, runway 34.
Direct FedEx and clear. Can you repeat? 274 Juliet Victor.
274 Juliet Victor, cleared Amsterdam.
It's down green. Auto brakes low. It's going to be a reverse idle for touchdown.
Berlin Air 10372 at KTR, requesting clearance to
Hello, Berlin 1372, clear crossing runway 20, stock 316 for departure. Climb flight level 110, squawk 6753.
Look at it. Working to the gusts. Absolutely epic. And if just use a few seconds.
runway 20, climb to
Just to have a little look at the winds.
Squawk 6753.
Berlin Air 1372, departure is Socri 1 Echo.
Just incredible, isn't it?
Socri 1 Echo. Berlin Air 1372.
Berlin 1372, repeat back. Easy 909, descent 3000, clear LS to 1 right.
Heath, no, I always like to hand fly the last 1,000 foot, so if I can. I'm actually going to try it in this gusty conditions as well. See what happens.
1,000.
Autopilot off.
Australia 131 Golf, turn left heading 3303.
Turn left heading 330 degrees, Osprey 131 Golf.
My controls now, flying the aeroplane.
Juliet Mike, descent altitude 7,000 feet, the QNH 1006.
7,000 feet, 1006, Osprey.
Jeez.
Jordanian 131
Now it's changed direction. I have to correct for that. We're going to get left drift otherwise. That's a big bit of sink there. Wind shear, almost. And again. Warning us. This is epic. This is bloody hard, actually. Being really careful to try and not chase the aeroplane as well through this. This is bloody tough. My God, I am properly firing this. I mean, I've lost the glide slope on the ILS. Flying it as a visual approach, but it's just so tricky. Trying not to like chase the aeroplane, but it's so changeable there. Trying to hold like an average approach rather than chase being too high and too low constantly.
100. Minimum. 50,
Continue.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Oh, a bit too much flare there.
5.
Turn left 250, altitude 3000.
Change of plan. Full reverse. Still landed just before the touchdown zone ended, otherwise that was going to be a go around then, folks. We got her in. And there's Alpha 6. So the change of plan worked.
Alpha 355, descent flight level 80.
And some manual brakes. And Tobii Eye Tracker's alive again. We're going to go left here on Alpha. Yeah, should have really. Those winds just were not expected, are they? Were they?
Left 300, descent 4000.
Left 300 and 400 feet for Jordania 121.
Condor 6 Mike Charlie, confirm descending level 110.
From Route descending.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, turn left heading 030 degrees.
Left heading 030, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike.
Center, Turkish 58 from requesting a Falcon to Istanbul. Information Charlie.
Turkish 58 from information Charlie, correct. Clear destination, runway 21 left. Kia 2 Foxtrot departure. Flying 7,000 feet. Squawk 2077.
Osprey 131, fully established ILS.
Easy 909, runway 21 right, clear to land, 210 degrees, 17 knots.
Clear land 21 right, easy 909.
Jordanian 131 Papa, turn left heading 250, descend 3000, clear to LS to 1
Oh, Dan, absolutely. That was really fun. Actually, really quite difficult as well. It added an entirely different level to the approach there. Something I've not experienced before.
Ocean Golf Alpha, holding point.
I'm in a bit of a slow taxi here because I've not had chance. He's so busy at the moment. I don't want to tell him.
Ocean Golf will be ready for immediate upon bridging.
Negative, Ocean Golf.
Copy, expect 2.5 minute delay due to inbound runway 34.
Dax, Ocean Golf.
Lot 418, on present heading clear to localizer to 1 right.
On present heading clear for the localizer to 1 right for lot 418.
Straight 27 Juliet Mike, turn left heading 330, descend 4000.
Who's this? It's an easy jet. Absolutely power source. Fantastic, isn't it?
100, squawk 7057, information Charlie correct.
It's going to go from 701 Delta,
117 Golf feedback correct. Off 27 Juliet Mike, continue left turn heading 27, correction 280 please. DutchBird 165, continue via Alpha 7 Hotel Standard Charlie.
Continue, was it Alpha 7 by Hotel Charlie and Alpha DutchBird 165?
Condor 6 Mike Charlie, descend 3000, QNH 1010, clear car,
Alpha 7, Hotel
1010, descend 3000, clear car,
Charlie and Alpha. And after all of that, I've missed that touchdown.
After 355, descend 4000,
Damn it.
QNH Campos 1003, clear to locator, runway 19.
Send 4000, QNH Campos 1003, clear to locator, runway 19 up for 355.
Air 1372, ready.
I'll see what I can spot for touchdown shortly, but with that behind as well, I don't want to get in the way, so I need to focus on taxi. AP bleeds, and taxing in on the old A320s on engine 1, isn't it? So I shut down engine 2, I'm trying to remember now the nuances of the older version.
Osprey 131 Golf, runway 21 right, clear to land, the wind 210 degrees, 17 knots.
Hey, David G's bought a baseball cap from the Channel Merchandise line. Awesome. Thank you very much. And Nico, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. George, welcome, folks. And 106 likes so far as well. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
EZ909 Alpha 7 Hotel.
Alpha 7 Hotel, EZ909.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, descent altitude 2500.
2500 off flight.
And a mug. Epic, David. Thank you, mate. Gate A.
4 Juliet Victor, runway 34, clear to land, 11035.
Runway 34, clear to land, to jet 4 Juliet Victor.
Shall we have a follow me car?
Yeah,
let's have a follow me car. Let's see which way they go. We'll have gold air.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, turn left heading 250, clear the LS to 1 right.
Left heading 250,
Human Aviation, it should just delete for you when you land, like it's done there. It's reset the FMS or the MCDU.
DutchBird
446, pushing for approach, facing east, the QNH 1011.
How cool is that?
Good in 7 Golf, start of approach 1010.
1010 for the boot, takeoff.
See the nav lights in the distance. I think it's Neil on final approach. Here comes the follow me car. Now I've actually kept moving here to see if it recognises the fact that we are no longer parked where we were going to say we were going to be parked, and it has. That's pretty smart.
Color 6 Mike Charlie clear 2, enter the hold over Gonzas Public.
Jimmy, yeah, it should do, yeah.
Report ready to start the approach.
Roger, turning into the hold over Gonza and reporting ready. Counter 6 Mike.
Lot 418, descend 3000, clear to LS to 1 right.
Descend to 3000, clear LS to 1 right for lot 418.
PM 310, descend flight level 170.
Let's see, just going to reset this before the follow me car tries to get us to turn. This is on short final now, a couple of miles, so we've got a little while yet.
Sorry, can you please get in again?
Yeah, it's a cool follow me car. So what he will do now, telling us that we should go left in a minute, it should indicate left and give us a left arrow on the sign, the way GSX seems to work. It may or may not do that. There he is, so he's doing a left turn and indicating left. If you can see that.
Clear to land, Jordania,
Hello, EZA3 Alpha Victor, squawk 0055.
Yeah, it moves super quick to get to you. So I missed Neil's touchdown.
Roger that. Taxi hotel standard choice.
EZ909, continue on to hotel stand of choice, bye.
Hotel standard choice, EZ909, thank you.
Osprey 27, Juliet Mike, fully established 21 right.
I'll see if I can spot him. I've just missed Neil's. Sorry, Neil.
Osprey 27, Juliet Mike, Roger, continue approach number 2, number 1, 3 miles ahead.
Can you repeat that, Osprey 27 Mike?
Osprey 27, Juliet Mike, continue approach. You are number 2, number 1 is 3 miles ahead of you.
Continue approach number 2.
I can see Max there actually, so I might be able to. Hopefully, we don't turn left here. I think we might be turning left.
1111
Yeah, so I guess go left.
We have some golf ready flag.
Ocean 9 Golf, clear takeoff runway 16, 110 degrees 5 knots. Ligurian 87 Golf, taxi via Delta, cross 30, holding point runway 27.
Delta crossing 30, holding point 27, Ligurian.
Just gonna quickly check our progress. Don't want to overshoot the turns, see? And it's great, isn't it? Doc, we've been given Alpha 7.
We did for Juliet Pico, continue Alpha, stand 7, bye.
Continue on Alpha and stand 7 to just for Juliet Pico.
Or was it Alpha 4? I might have been Alpha 4 now, because he's just been stand 7. Nice touchdown, Max.
Alpha 355, clear visual approach, runway 19, descend traffic parking altitude, the QNH 1003.
Clear visual approach, runway 19, descend traffic parking altitude, QNH 1003, Alpha 355.
So now we're going to change the parking stand on the fly here, see what it does.
Top Suite 32 Tango Echo Athens, fellow squawk 6726.
And he's added the previous page in, which was my suggestion to GSX a little while ago. That's epic.
Color 6 Mike Charlie, cancel guns, holding clear, start nav approach, runway 27.
I'm going to request it to change to gate 11, I think.
Jordanian 131 Papa, vacate left, contact ground 121, decimal 750, bye-bye.
12175 for Jordania.
Oh, Bravo.
327 Juliet Mike, runway 21 right, clear to land, 210 degrees, 17 knots.
Clear to land, Osprey.
TM 310, this is 6,000 feet, the QNH 1006.
6,000 feet and QNH 1006 for TM 310.
Approximately straight to Tango Echo, identified, proceed direct XORKI, arrival XORKI 3 Bravo, runway 21 right.
XORKI 3 Bravo for island 21 right and direct XORKI 3 Flanger.
Just a lot more very fast.
Delta 446, taxi Juliet Alpha holding point 24.
Juliet Alpha holding point 24, that's 446.
Engine 2 off.
1372, ready for LX to 1 right.
Lot 418, continue approach, becoming number 1 shortly.
Roger, continue approach number 1 for lot 418.
Linear 1372, taxi back track line up, runway 20, report ready. Q&A.
As yet, but you don't know what route it's going to take you, so on VATSIM it might not be useful. You still have to read the charts. It might take you a different route.
Report when ready, Q&A is 1012. Linear 1372.
The radar, DutchBird 165, can you just confirm that stand number, please?
DutchBird 165 for that contact 121750.
Wilco, thanks.
Athena Control, Athena Radar, CDJ 7732, heavy requesting IFR clearance to destination at 5.
We must have ground controller on. Oh, we do. Athens ground. Venizelos ground, Kalispera, DutchBird 165 is holding position on Echo. Request confirmation of our gate for parking, please.
Greetings, Drobolet 165. You can park to stand of choice, there's no problem. Just keep online.
Perfect, thank you. I think we configured the gate Alpha 7. Thanks.
Welcome to Athens, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Jordania maximum Papa on taxi up.
That's an auto, might as well turn them off and I'll retract them out the belly as well.
Jordanian
and
131
we'll make sure the
Papa,
nose
welcome to
light is
Athens,
off.
taxi via Alpha Hotel
They're off
India,
as well.
stand of choice.
Taxi for the choice.
Alpha 7.
Via Alpha India and Hotel for.
Paris on final.
It's Alpha 7 Hotel India for Jordanian.
Someone on short final here.
Sorry, Alpha 7 Alpha Hotel India for Jordania maximum.
Ground, like you said, Juliet 1 Alpha, hold short Alpha.
Gonna hold short just before parking here so we can try and spot another landing. David, thanks for rejoining us at Gold Frequent Flyer. Great to have you back with us. Just gonna come to a stop here.
Juliet Mike, I will call you 7 Juliet Mike. And you're clear to stand of choice via Alpha 7 Hotel.
It's fighting the wind. Look at that.
Parking stance Alpha 40.
Using a Nordica CRJ 700, I think, or 900.
Taxi Alpha, Alpha 7 Hotel, and stand Alpha 45 Osprey Juliet Mike.
Big windsock gusts there, look at that.
Osprey 7 Juliet Mike, sorry. Better get stand Alpha 44.
Big flare, like me.
Taxi Alpha, Alpha 7 Hotel, and Alpha 44 Osprey.
Sorry for my bad drone camera skills there, folks. Beautiful touchdown, Paris. Fantastic effort, well done. Top job. Let's reset this. We're going to get Tobii Eye Tracker on to help with the parking as well. And we've got BDGS, look, on the top of the board there. Just waiting for the ground stuff to render back in again here. Single engine taxi. Arrow, little red arrow there telling us we're slightly to the left of our centre line target, so we're going to creep out. Try and just centralise this nose wheel a little bit.
Ground to traffic runway radio check. Turkish 58 Romeo, read you 4 out of 5, sir. Ground.
Ground Turkish 58.
Standard scene we know, it's FlyTampa's Athens. It's incredible, worth every penny. Increase of engine 1 there just to keep us rolling.
Venezuela's ground, good day, lot 418, vacated 21 right on Alpha.
Lot 418, welcome to Athens, taxi via Alpha 7.
10 meters.
Hotel to stand Alpha 37.
8.
Roger,
7.
taxi on Alpha 7 Hotel and stand 37 for lot 418.
4. 3.
Ground Turkish 58 Romeo,
2.
requesting Alpha clearance to Istanbul information carrier.
Keep it rolling.
Turkish 58 Romeo, you're clear to Istanbul as filed via Kia 2 Foxtrot departure.
I'm feeding a tiny bit of power here.
Initial climb 7,000 feet and squawk 2077.
.3 meters.
We're clear right here to Foxtrot departure, initial climb 7,000 feet, squawk runway 21 left and squawk 2077.
58 Romeo, your readback was script, advise when ready for push.
0.8, come on girl.
You're in stand-up, you can go taxi immediately.
Oh, I don't want to stop just yet. Oh, it's told me we're okay. Very good parking. Yeah, boy! Happy days. Chocks on. So, let's go power off. APU's on anyway, and I'm pleased. We're going to go engine 2 is already off. Engine 1 now off. Let's get that cooling down, beacon off. Seatbelt signs. We're going to commit to deboarding. And GSX main menu now as well. I took my time with that, didn't I? That's the first ever very good parking thing that I've had. Who's on final now? You got anyone? So I've probably missed David or someone now. Who's flying along now? Who's got final approach coming up?
Passengers deboarding started.
Oh, happy days. It's doing it all automatically with the Fenix profile. Let's just quickly go over here. Oh, don't ruin it for me. Where's the jetty? Jetty not work. God damn it. That'd have been a great screenshot. Oh, well, that's kind of ruined it a little bit. We've got the stairs at the back and stuff, and then the cargo loaders there. So, I mean, we can use this one as a nice little screenshot, look. Pretend like it's not a problem. Big containers coming out, the jetainers. To be fair, I don't know if that's a conflict with the fact that I'm deboarding using the EFB and the Fenix, and then GSX is trying to play catch-up effectively or not. I don't know. But that's working pretty well there, the actual baggage container stuff. That's pretty smart. We had somebody on final approach, didn't we? I'm still connected, yeah. Ground controllers streaming this on Twitch as well. I thought, was it John on final approach next? Ah, yes, I can see him now, right in the distance over there. While we're waiting anyway, let's have a little look. Who we got? We've got an EasyJet parked up there. I know we've got Neil. Neil's been bumped over that way. And then you've got Fly 1 and the Jordanian there as well. So that's Cocolado and ABISO or Max. At night time, this airport is just exquisite. It's just amazing. Reposition the camera for the approach. I think is this the last one in? Here it comes. Yeah, 351 foot per minute. It's actually not too bad at all on the grand scheme of things. Ooh, look at that big old drift going off sideways there. What else have we got on Atlanta? Juliet Charlie Mike Osprey 5121 is inbound. Oh, so that is that's a GN 310. Looks like he's fighting it, whoever that is. Who else we got? I think Juliet Charlie Mike's the last one in. At this. Yeah, seems that way. Cool. So we've got this one. I don't know who this one is actually. And then we've got one more on final after that from our pack. Oh, John, awesome. You're over in the cargo ramp. I missed your landing as well then. Did you land on 2-1 left? Ian, nice one. At least you managed to sort of make it as well. Ah yes, the new NVIDIA driver's out. Don't forget, Ian. I'm sure, hopefully, touch wood, fingers crossed, it'll all be fine when you get that installed. Oh, that's a very early touchdown. He's just tickled the threshold there. Plane spotted in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Very smooth on the nose wheel touchdown there. Oh, you're on 2-1 right. Can't believe I missed it. Apologies for that. Those of you who I did miss touchdown earlier, I'm very, very sorry about that. There's Neil and Faris, just see there the tail. And if I can find the windsock.
Do you want to deboard Pearl?
Where is the windsock here? I don't know. There's one over that way, the other runway which we saw was just sideways. Oh, Juliet Charlie Mike, you're in observer mode. Yeah, correct. We won't see you then, fortunately. Is that John over there? Oh no, that's not cargo, is it? Cargo's over that way. So this is FlyTampa's Athens. Stunning airport, huge airport as well actually in reality, but performance is exquisite. And if we need to do like an evening or an early morning departure from here at some point in the future, to be totally honest, because it's just stunning, some of the textures and things here.
Athens ground Calcutta, this is SU10, landed on runway 21 right.
A couple of the guys have already headed off, logged off.
TM310, I saw your beautiful landing. Welcome to Athens, taxi via Alpha 7, Hotel
Here we are.
India.
Hope you guys have enjoyed today's live stream. Amsterdam Schiphol to Athens. FlyTampa's wonderful Athens with GSX working in full swing. Keep an eye on the channel over the next few days. Not tomorrow, but the next day we're going to be streaming. So Thursday we're going to be streaming somewhere. Route yet to be decided, and then Sunday as well. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching, guys. Choosing to subscribe, hitting the like button. Thank you very much to David G buying some merchandise, as well as our controllers today too. Thank you to those on both sides of the stream. If you've not got FlyTampa's Athens yet, I can highly recommend it. Let me just go to like a night view so you can see how good this looks here. Hopefully you're ready for this. Let's see. Look at that. Just exceptionally good. Hope you guys have a great rest of the evening. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to give us a little thumbs up. And we'll continue the conversation on Discord as always, where I'll also put in all of our screenshots from today's live stream too. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and flying along. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a good day tomorrow, and I'll see you on Thursday for another live stream somewhere wild. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Ground Turkish Flight Tracker, requesting approaching start.
Turkish 58 Romeo, pushing startup route, face east on Kilo, please.
Pushing start, face east on Kilo, Turkish 58 Romeo.